draw. Then they went up against England. They put in a fantastic performance against England, getting a really, really well-earned 0-0 draw, which I know might not sound like the sexiest of results, but the amount of work that had to go into getting that 0-0 draw was very, very admirable, and it was very impressive. And that hard work is exactly what the USA are going to need here as well. They are going to need to provide that level of energy, that level of graft, that workmanship, because now I wouldn't say the quality is going to go up compared to when you played England, but the stakes have gone up. All of a sudden, like, there's a team that are fighting for their lives, and that wasn't England. When you faced England, they weren't fighting for their lives. So this is going to be a different test. It's going to be a harder test, but you have faced, dare I say, better quality opposition in England. I think England are better than the Netherlands. I think a lot of people would say that. I think if it was England versus Netherlands, I'd be going into it with a degree of confidence. So, yeah, I think you should go in with a degree of confidence as well. And so, obviously, good performance there. And then in your last game, with the pressure of it being either you or Iran to go through, the fact that you were able to get that victory shows, that you've got that fighting mentality, shows that when the stakes are down, you can get the results. That was a big game. That was a really big game. That's the sort of game that the USA of old could have crumbled in. That's the kind of game where we've seen the USA lose and go home. Whereas this time you were able to get that victory. You were able to get through to the round of 16. And, as we said, now your prize is to face the Netherlands. And obviously we're going to find out, like, if you can get through to a quarter final. Already the USA are in the round of 16. So they're into the round of 16. This is about who can get to the final 8, right? Your prize would be one of those last 8 teams in the world. Like, there's over 200 countries in the world, and everyone takes part. There was a few countries that dropped out this time because of COVID, but they were just smaller nations that wouldn't have qualified anyway. And there weren't many of them, to be honest. So this is pretty much like the world that has took part in this. And you're already in the final 16. You are on the verge of getting through to the final 8. Now, this is the team information that is coming through SofaScore. So we have got some information up on screen. You can see that the Netherlands are playing a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-1-2. It looks like they've got Klaassen in that number 10 role. What I would say about Klaassen is he's been playing really well. He has actually massively gone under the radar. Klaassen is someone that has been popping up with assists at this World Cup. So if you can stop Klaassen, you can potentially stop a key supply line to Gakpo and to Memphis Depay. We haven't seen much of Depay. There's a few question marks around his fitness. He has been coming on as a sub, but he is a killer for the Netherlands. He really is someone that bangs them in for the Netherlands. He is someone to be very, very wary of. But even if you are watching him, you probably need to pay more attention to Gakpo, because Gakpo, not only has he actually been banging them in at this World Cup, but he's fit, he's looking hungry, he's looking motivated, he's looking confident. So that triangle at the front, those 3 players, they can cause any team problems. Klaassen, I've been very impressed with. Gakpo is absolutely firing in goals. I think he's joint leading goal scorer at this World Cup so far. And then you've got Memphis Depay, who, as we said, is not amazing at club level. Like, he does really, really well. He's played at United, he's played at Barcelona. Like, he's achieving fantastic stuff in his career. But he is someone that seems to go up a different level when he plays for the Dutch. When he puts on that orange shirt, he seems to go up a level. So just be aware of that front line. Then you've got De Jong. I mean, just a fantastic midfielder. Man United tried so hard to get him in the summer. They actually almost sacrificed their whole transfer activity. They almost didn't do anything else apart from just go after Frankie De Jong. It got to the point where we were spending months of like trying to get this guy because he has got this fantastic ability to pick the ball up from defense, turn and go at players and weave and beat them. Spray passes, diagonal passes, short passes, long passes, through balls. He's just got this ability to turn defending into attacking, get the ball. His job is to make sure that the ball is picked up from defense. So if the defenders make the tackle, they give it to De Jong. He gets the ball. He turns defense into attack, and his job is to get the ball into Klaassen, into Depay, into Gakpo, for them to do what they do best. He is a key player. He is an absolute key player. This team, without De Jong, would struggle to get the ball from the back to the forward line, right? He is that person that links attack and defense. So what you want to do is you want to have a look at De Jong. You want to make sure maybe even double up on De Jong and see if you can, again, stop the supply line. Because you could have Messi and Ronaldo up front, but if they're not getting the ball, right, there's nothing they can do. So I would be looking at Klaassen, I'd be looking at De Jong, I'd be looking at like trying to stop that supply line. They do have the ability to get balls in from Dumfries and for Daley Blind on the wings as well. So these guys come forwards. And they've got the ability to whip crosses in. Certainly Dumfries, who is kind of seen as someone that really does provide quite a few assists. But we haven't been seeing it at this World Cup. He's actually been largely quite quiet, Dumfries. So you just have to, again, you just have to be aware. If you shut down the middle, they might just go onto the wings. And if they go out onto the wings, that's probably not the worst because we just haven't been seeing it at this World Cup. We haven't seen Dumfries like with those assists. So that would be something that could be an interesting attack for the US. Shut down the middle, force them out wide. Maybe those players are not very confident at the moment. Maybe those players are just carrying a knock. Maybe the fitness isn't quite right. Maybe it's just not part of the game plan. You're asking them to do something they haven't been doing at this World Cup. So I would be looking to shut the middle down, force them out wide, and like really trying to close them down. The USA is so good at pressing and not giving teams room and really making it like frustrating. I was frustrated when I watched England against the USA because I felt that England just could not get going. They could not get their passes together. They could not find a way forwards. We're talking a lot about supply lines. There was no supply getting to that forward line. Like as soon as Bellingham got the ball, boom, there was 2 American players on Bellingham. And then we were seeing Harry Kane drop back so that he could pick the ball up and bring it forward. Boom, 2 American players on Harry Kane. That's what you need to be doing with the likes of De Jong, Klaassen. You need to be getting a couple of American players on them. And everyone else needs to have a player that's either there or very close by. Because as soon as they get the ball, bang, you're right there. You're right there. They've got nowhere to go. They're going to have to beat you if they want to get past you. And obviously, you're just looking to knock the ball out into touch, give away a throw-in or something. It doesn't really matter. Just keep stopping that momentum. Just keep frustrating. I really think the USA can do this because not only have you got a game plan which you executed against England that I think is a great blueprint, but you've also got some good individuals, You've got some good players like Serginho Dest. I've been very impressed with him at right back. He's been getting forward. Attacking-wise, he's been causing lots of problems. Defensively, there's apparently some question marks around him. We don't know how great he is if some of the world's best attackers are running at him. So there's maybe a little bit of a question mark there. But against Memphis Depay, he should be fine, in all fairness. He should be fine. Maybe as the talent goes up in levels, and certainly amongst the forward lines, if he was having to worry about Erling Haaland, or if he was having to worry about Messi, or someone along those lines, maybe then there'd be some concern. But right now at this level, he should be absolutely fine. And what he gives you going forwards is some real attacking intent. So I really like Serginho Dest. I think your keeper has been playing well. I think I'm right in saying that these are the average scores so far. So Matt Turner, 7.17 is not bad for a keeper at all. That's not bad for a goalkeeper. So I'm a fan of your keeper. Your back two have been holding up quite firm. So Tim Ream, Walker Zimmerman, they've both been standing fairly strong. And so I'm interested to see if they can do that again tonight. Must admit, that is not the strongest pairing at this World Cup when it comes to the centre-backs, the two that are just in front of the keeper. But they've been doing a job. Zimmerman did give a penalty away, which obviously hurt against Wales. So that's a concern, if you've got someone that's got a bit of trickery about them. I'm thinking Musiala of Germany. We've seen Musiala of Germany, who thankfully are out of this tournament, but the point remains, we've seen him weaving in and around the penalty box, trying to create space to get a shot off. Like someone like Zimmerman might just go in and hack him and boom, penalty gets given away again. So a little concern with Zimmerman, but all in all, your back line has held firm. You didn't concede against England. You didn't concede against Iran. The only goal you conceded against Wales was that penalty that Zimmerman gave away. So I think you can have confidence that your back line should hold firm. Your midfield is wonderful. I love your midfield. McKennie just busts a gut, gets around the pitch, really getting stuck in. Like, you can't miss him because of his hair. And I really am impressed with him. Tyler Adams is, I reckon, the jewel in your team. I think everything goes through Tyler Adams. If you watch number 4 today, Tyler Adams, he is dictating everything. He seems to be like the guy that sets things up. He seems to be the guy that's bringing defense and turning it into attack. He seems to be the guy that's just everywhere. If you take Tyler Adams out of this team, I do worry that this team falls apart. That's just a concern for down the road. If something happens to Tyler Adams, I am a bit worried about your team because everything just goes through him. And like you can see, I think, again, that's the average score over 7.07, the best scoring midfielder that you have. And so next to him is Musa. Musa is only 19 years old, used to be on the books for England, but he has gone over to USA, and he's going to be your midfield for the next 10 years plus. He's been absolutely brilliant as well. Like, again, we're talking about effort, hard work. We're talking about winning midfield battles, second balls. If the ball falls to some players and then spills loose, who gets it? Probably Musa, probably McKennie, probably Tyler Adams. They're just on it. They're quick and they're on it. It's like you've got a team of athletes. That's what it's like. You've got a team that are quick, hard-working, focused, determined. This is a team that will fight. If you put money on them, they'll fight for your money. So I am a big fan of the US team. I love the fact it's so young as well, because it means that it's going to keep improving. And so if you do go out today, right, then all I would say is don't be too disheartened, because you have come up against a good team. They are a good team, the Dutch. You've come up against a good team. You made it to the final 16. You got out the group. So tick, 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 tick. Yeah, lots of positives. And it's just a great platform to build on in 4 years' time. If this is where you are now, where are you going to be in 4 years when you have the World Cup in America? So it's Canada, America, and Mexico. And I actually was looking at the cities that are involved, and I would say 90% of the cities involved are American cities. There's a few in Mexico, there's a few in Canada, there's all of them in America. So it's basically an American World Cup, to be honest. So in 4 years' time, your team is going to obviously have improved, and I am very excited to see it develop. So yeah, I think you can have optimism. I think you should be coming into this with excited, with your heads held high. Obviously, it looks like Captain America is going to play and Christian Pulisic. What do you need to say about him? He is someone that has got that ability to beat players. He has got that ability to create the space, find a moment of magic, unlock a defense. He is your creative force. If this team didn't have Pulisic, it wouldn't be a problem. I think it's a bigger problem if you lose Tyler Adams, for example. But if you don't have Pulisic, you do start to wonder where the goals are going to come from. As much as we praise you for keeping it tight at the back, you do also have to say, well, one goal was scored against Wales, no goals were scored against England, and one goal, which was a real scramble, was scored against Iran. So it feels like you play well as a team. It feels like you work hard, you battle, you shut the other team down, and that's a big effort to do that. The problem you have is you can be a little bit rickety at the back, certainly if a team beats your press. So if you're pressing, man marking, and the player beats that man, all of a sudden then there could be a little bit of space that opens up, and so that could be a problem. Then you might find your defense starts, to creak a little bit. You don't know if Zimmerman's got a bit of a mistake in him, so that's a little concern. But up front, that we're just not seeing goals. There's no goals that are coming. So those are the negatives, if you will. Those are the negatives. There is no killer number 9 that you've got. There is no just get him the ball. I mean, you could say that about Pulisic, but Pulisic is someone that has to sort of create and try and finish himself. He doesn't have another Pulisic next to him, or he doesn't have a Messi next to him. He doesn't have a Haaland. He doesn't have an Mbappe. He doesn't have a Harry Kane. Harry Kane being probably the best example. He doesn't have that person that he can create, play the ball to, and they finish it off for him. You don't really have that number 9. Timothy Weah, he has, I think I'm right in saying, scored in the first game, but I think if you look at how many goals he's got in how many games he's played, it's not a brilliant record. It's not a brilliant record. So kind of look at that and you're a bit like, oh, it's, you got to work with what you got at the end of the day. So I expect you to, I don't expect this to be a high scoring game. I expect you to work hard. I expect you to battle. I expect that when this game ends, whenever it ends, 90 minutes, 120 minutes, penalties, however this goes, I expect your players to be absolutely out on their feet. Actually, not even on their feet. I expect your players to not even be able to celebrate. They're just going to be shattered on the floor, like just absolutely done in, because it's going to take that kind of effort to get past the Dutch. And I think that you have got a few areas of concern, as we said, lack of goals, and if a team does manage to get past your press, then they could create space and they could be away. That's a concern. But your strengths are your hard working. Your strengths are the fact that you have seemingly got Pulisic. Hopefully is 100%. If he's not, then I wouldn't have played him. I know he's really important for you, but I think he's only important going forwards. I think that you're going to need a whole team to defend, and he's got to play a part in that as well. So if he's not 100%, that's a concern. But I say that when you weigh everything up, I think that Dutch team it looks good on paper with Timber, who plays for Ajax, great player. Van Dijk, who plays for Liverpool, great player. Nathan Ake doesn't play all the time for Man City, but he's on Man City's books. And then you go through the rest of the squad, and there's just world-class players everywhere, or not world-class, but they're big names playing at big clubs, yeah? They're just not setting the world on fire. I mean, I watched all 3 of the Netherlands games in the group stages. There was nothing special. And even people in Holland feel that way. People in Netherlands feel that way. They're quite critical of how the team are playing at the moment. They're not excited by them at all. There's actually concern about the team. So this is, if you were going to play them, this is the time to play them. So I'm going to say that you're going to do it. I'm going to say that it's going to be... I don't know if it's going to be in normal time or extra time. Of course, if 90 minutes is up, we go to extra time. And then once that's up, we go to penalties. The tournament has changed. This is a whole different tournament than the one we've been watching now. This is go through or go home. So I'm going to say that you are going to do it in full time. I'm going to say you're going to do it in full time. Right. Let's have a look and see. I hope Christian is healthy enough to play today, says Michael. Let's jump into, what I want to do is jump into the chat. And I want to try and get a poll in the chat and see what people are thinking. I want to know. I mean, I know that you lot are largely in America and you are going to be behind your team, and rightfully so. Let's see. Do you think that USA go through? Let's see what you're thinking or feeling. Do you think the USA go through? Not everyone watching will be in America. So we'll ask the question, do you think the USA go through? Yes or no? Let's see what you lot think. Right, I was going to just have a quick look to see if there was any other news that was doing the rounds. Good morning, USA. President Biden has sent a message.
It's called soccer. Go USA. Called soccer.
So
it's called soccer.
It's called soccer.
Go USA.
Go USA.
You guys are gonna do it.
You guys are gonna do it.
Hey, Mr. President, heads up.
That's nice. So Tyler Adams kicks the ball, and it kind of lands into Joe Biden's hands. He says, I don't know why, but he says it's called soccer, and he says, "Good luck, go do it." So there we go, Joe Biden giving. I don't know. Look, I'm obviously not interested in politics and all of that, but I always think it's nice, regardless of whoever is in office. It's always nice when I think they get involved. If they do something with like the royal family or something, I always think that's quite nice here in England. Or if the prime minister says something about it, like I just like that. It kind of, it's like, you know, this is important, this is massive, this is big. And to know that, like, the Queen is watching it, like, obviously she's not now, but, like, to know that she was watching it in the past, or to know that, like, you know, the Prime Minister was watching it, or, you know, and it was that kind of important. I don't know, even when I was young, I always liked that. I always felt like it made it feel even bigger, you know? So that's cool. I like that Joe Biden's done that. Daniel says it's going to be 2-1. Pricey said there are levels to this game. Aaron said no goals have been scored on the USA, only just one penalty kick. James said F soccer, it's effing football. Yeah, Joe Biden, silly old man. Michael said, if the question was do I want USA to advance, the answer is yes. But the Netherlands will probably be too much, says Michael. Richard said, that makes me want to root for Netherlands now. Thanks. TKG said it's called FIFA. Bonker says Gakpo is going to score again. Joseph said, what's your score prediction for England tomorrow? I'm going to go 3-1 England. 3-1 England. I think it's going to be a difficult game. I think that Senegal can score. I think that at half-time it might be 1-1 and people will be freaking out. And then I think in the second half, England might just find another gear. Maybe it's the subs that help us. And we get over the line with like a 3-1 in the end. I do worry about Senegal a little bit. The only thing is, I think you can build them up in your mind a little. I've watched them. I've watched them against Ecuador. I've watched them against Netherlands. I've watched them against Qatar. And I mean, they're good, but they're not a team that I like am fearing. They're a team that I'm like, okay, Senegal next. We know what we need to do. We've got the players that can do it. I do not have one eye on France. We've spoke a lot about that. And if England get through, that's the opponent I expect us to face. But we've not been sitting here talking too much about like, okay, well, this is how we're going to beat the French and all this kind of stuff. The only thing I've said is that if we do get through, I could see Kyle Walker marking Mbappe. I think that's pretty much the only thing we've touched on. But as I said also before, like, it's all right for us to have those conversations as long as the team aren't having those conversations, because they just need to be fully focused on a very, very good Senegal team. They're very, very good. I don't think they're great, not without Sadio Mane, but I think they're very, very good. If England were to go out to Senegal, I'd be very disappointed. So, maybe I'll be disappointed tomorrow. I've been disappointed many times before with England. It's part and parcel of supporting England, to be honest. Disappointment. And I've always said as well, like, when it comes to these things, and it's just worth knowing or remembering that when it comes to the World Cup and when it comes to the Euros, every country in the world, except for one, will go out at some point in this tournament, right? At some point, every country in the world goes out. Some countries might go out in qualifying. Some countries might go out in the group stage. Some countries go out in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals or the semi. Apart from one country in the world, everyone else goes out at some point, right? So you have to just, like, enjoy it whilst you're in it. Yes, hope that you can get through. But if it's your end of your journey, then really just try and take the positives from that journey. Like, for the USA, if they go out today, I don't think that there's going to be a big backlash. I don't think there's going to be there'll be disappointment, but I don't think there would be anger. Obviously, it depends how you go out, but, if you're winning like 4-0 at halftime and then you go out, there might be anger. But I don't think there will be anger, and I don't think there will be anything other than pride and a little bit of disappointment, right? And just try and keep that in perspective, because I think you didn't get to the World Cup last time. You did this time. That's a tick. You got out the group. That's a tick. You've got a very young squad that can improve. That's a tick. You've had some players that have put in some great performances at this World Cup. That's a tick. Like, and you've had a big experience against the Dutch. I mean, obviously we don't know how that game has gone yet, but I would say that really, anything from now, USA going out, you will be disappointed, but you should be more positive than negative about it if you do go out from this stage. If you went out today, disappointing, but it shouldn't be something that's like going to devastate your life or anything like that. For England, it's a little different. For England, our expectation is that we are going to be there or thereabouts. So getting out of the group is really a minimum requirement. Now, like, we've got Senegal. If we go out, it's a little bit harder maybe to find the positives. There's definitely positives there. We're still a youngish side, and we've got some wonderful players coming through. But for England, like, I think we at least need that one more step. I think that, like, for England, we need to get past Senegal. We need to get past Senegal. And then if we go out to the French, well, I think a lot of people in England would be like, yeah, okay. I think at that point, that's when most people have us going out. So if we go out to the French, then I think that would be the point where England would be like, yeah, okay, it was the French. So it's a little different for us. If you go out today, I think it's all right. If we go out tomorrow, it's definitely an issue. We shouldn't really be going out to Senegal. Go USA, said Stanley. UFC tonight, said Anonymous. Yes. Let's bring up the lineups. Right, the coverage is beginning. We're only half an hour away, We're only half an hour away. I feel much better about being booted out by the Netherlands than Ghana, but that may not make sense to others, says Michael. LFC said Van Dijk or Pulisic will be the difference. We need to at least make quarterfinal, says James. That's true. Otherwise, it's a failure. Yeah, it's true. It is true. Like, as I said, for the USA for not make the last World Cup, to not qualify, to now 4 years later not only qualifying but getting out of the group, you have to take that. You have to take that. If it ends today, that's definite improvement. For England, at last World Cup we were in the semi-finals, and we got to extra time, and we were so close to getting to the final. So for us now to go out in the round of 16 would be a disappointment, definitely. But we'll worry about that tomorrow. Do you think Argentina will lose tonight? No, I don't. Argentina were undefeated. They were undefeated between 2019 and until they beat Saudi Arabia or lost to Saudi Arabia, so 2022. So they were undefeated for around 3 years. They had one of the longest undefeated international records of all time. They are a side that have got just dripping with talent everywhere. Of course, they possess arguably the best player in the world. If not, he certainly was not that long ago in Messi. So you want to talk about difference makers. I mean, he can destroy a team on his own. So you look at Argentina, they are a team that has suffered embarrassment. They're a team that stared, going out in the group stages in the face. They're a team that have had to gel. They've been forced to come together because if they didn't, they were going out in the groups. And so that shock, if you will, that taste of reality that Saudi Arabia gave them, that you better be switched on because any team at this World Cup can beat you. I think that's going to really help them. I think they're even more dangerous now than they were coming into this tournament. Coming into this tournament, they were a great team. They had momentum, but that loss, I think, has woken them up. They now, surely after that loss to Saudi Arabia, they were getting up that little bit earlier. They were doing that little extra training. They find that little extra in the legs. They're just doing those. It's fine margin sport, but they are just finding those little extra things because of the embarrassment of losing to Saudi Arabia when Argentina are one of the favourites to win this World Cup. So I think they're up and running. I think that they are maybe more dangerous than before. I think they've got talent all over the pitch. I think they've got players they can bring off the bench. And they're playing an Australia team that we did not expect to get through to the round of 16. An Australia team that, again, similar to the USA, if they go home today, it's a tick. It's a big positive. It's something that they have to take the success from. The positives from, and be just over the moon with, to be honest, because I don't think they, in their wildest dreams, expected to get out of that group. So, sadly not. I think that it's going to be Argentina that await USA after this if USA do get through. And to be perfectly truthful, I don't think you get past Argentina for all the reasons I just stated. You'll give them a fight if you do get through. You'll give them a damn good go. And the only thing I would say is that maybe you can take them to penalties. Maybe you could take them to penalties and then try and knock them out on penalties. We've seen teams do that before. Switzerland knocked out France at the Euros on penalties. So we've seen it happen many times where smaller, lesser fancied teams knock out bigger teams by taking it to penalties. Maybe you keep it tight and you look to do that against Argentina if you get through. But get through. Get through this game first. If you get through this game, then, wow, that'll be amazing for you. That'll be absolutely fantastic news. The loss to Saudi was a wake-up call, says Hamad. There's no way that Deschamps will start Mbappe on a wing against Walker when he could start him up top against Maguire and Stones. Honestly, if he is... Well, to be honest, if he does that, I don't even know how successful that will be for him because I think England play a back five against France. So I don't think Walker's going to be out wide. I think Walker will be the right of a middle three. Wherever he's going to look to put Mbappe, Walker's going to be put on him, basically. I can see Walker being matched up with him. So I think that he could play in the right of a back three. If Mbappe is over here, I think you'll see Walker over there. The other two will shift over. And he'll put him on there because Mbappe's got speed and he can hurt anyone. But because Walker is arguably just as quick. Again, let's worry about that in the future. Check Pele news. It's not good news, says James. What is it? Pele news. Pele. Pele moved to end of life care. 88,000 tweets regarding Pele. Pele, pray for the king, says Kylian Mbappe. Sad news about Pele, keep fighting. Pele has been moved to end-of-life care. He's stopped responding to chemotherapy. Pele no longer responding to chemotherapy is under palliative care to avoid pain and shortness of breath. There's no longer treatment for bowel cancer, there is no longer any treatment for the bowel cancer that Pele's got. Yeah, heartbreaking. That was nice by Mbappe, though, isn't it? Pray for the king. So it looks like the end is near for, dare I say, the greatest. I mean, I think, honestly, in my mind, he is. I think in my mind, he is. I always grew up with Pele being the one. And it's hard to know if Messi or Ronaldo have reached that level. Pele is just always the name when you grow up. I mean, it's he's one of those names, isn't he? He's one of those names that, like, when you talk football, even people that don't know about football, they know Pele. Everyone knows Pele. He's like the Muhammad Ali of football. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows Pele. Well, heartbreaking news regarding Pele. Prayers for Pele, says Bonkers. Paul says, damn. LFC said Pele is dying. Our legend will die with Brazil winning it, probably. Pele is the GOAT, says Edwards. Hamad thinks it'll be Argentina 2-1. Aubrey Edwards says, sad, everyone knows Pele. Rotem said, Day's prediction, what are the chances the game goes extra time? Penalties. I think that there's a chance it does. I think that you are going to get I think that you are going to battle. I think you're going to keep it tight. I think that you have to look at Gakpo and think he's got a goal in him. I think you're going to have to score. I think if this is going to go 120 minutes, you're going to have to score. I think that you are... I think 2-1 USA extra time. I think I'm looking at that. I think I'm looking 2-1 USA extra time. I actually wouldn't try and take this to penalties. You don't want to have to go to penalties. Penalties are really good if you're playing Brazil or if you're playing Argentina. There's a lot of, trust me, there's a lot of times where I've sat watching England going, just get to penalties. Oh, just get to penalties. And I'll take my chances on penalties. And there's a lot of times where I've said that as an England fan in the past. But against the Netherlands, like, I genuinely think you should have enough here. I genuinely think that you should be able to battle and get, like, a couple of goals. I think that scoring the 2 goals is going to be the problem. I think defensively you should be okay, but you may give one away, you know, a shot from distance. And maybe it's 1-1, 2-1 in extra time. Maybe I'm looking at something like that. 1-1, and then, because don't forget the Dutch drew. They didn't get, like, full points. They drew against Ecuador, didn't they? I remember the Dutch. They didn't win all 3 of their games. So the USA are definitely a team that can get a draw with the Netherlands, and then it's just a case of, can you find that goal in extra time? And USA love drama. They love drama. You're all about that drama, and I think that you will provide a dramatic moment by getting that goal in extra time. Australia 2-1, USA 2-0, said Punjab Kings. How would England do if they go to penalties in any game that follows? England will be all right. I think we've sort of broke the penalty curse. We won a shootout against Colombia at the last World Cup, and that was massive for us. That was big. That, you know, if you talk to England staff, like, and you speak to Gareth and you talk about penalties, I don't think that the same fear exists around them now. We did lose the shootout to Italy, that is true. I think Gareth may have learnt from that, though. That, I think, was a big learning experience for him, because England actually, because I don't know if you know, but Gareth Southgate missed a big penalty for England back in 1996. England had the Euros in England. The European Championships were held in England in Euro 96. It's got to be my favourite ever tournament because it was everywhere, as you can imagine, being in England. There was games being played all over the country. You couldn't escape the coverage. And I think Euro 96 is something magical. It's just something super special. In many ways, I think of my life before Euro 96 and I think of my life after Euro 96 because it feels like that is when my love for football really exploded. Because I was watching Man United before then and I was following them and I was doing it so I could, speak to my friends at school and I loved Man United and everything. But I think when we got to Euro 96, and I got, I think, introduced to world players that I'd never heard of, and I got to watch all these different teams. Because don't forget, England were not at the World Cup in 94. So I couldn't watch anything in 94. The World Cup was on, but my interest was... but when we got to 96, we were there as hosts. We had Gaza and Shearer and all these amazing players. And I think my love for football went to a different level after that tournament. But Southgate missed a penalty. And we went out in the semi-final to Germany. And it's one of the most painful moments of probably anyone's... any football fan's life was probably really affected by that. It was very painful. He got ridiculed for missing it. I mean, we would never do what we did to him now. He did Pizza Hut adverts, which is like a pizza chain, pizza restaurant we have. I think you probably have it in America. But he did these pizza adverts where he had to put a paper bag over his head because of the shame. And I think when he took it off, people in the restaurant were pointing and going, shame, and all this kind of stuff. And so he'd put the bag back on. I mean, we would never do that to anyone now. That advert is so cruel. It is so cruel. I think that he learned a lot from how to deal with that incident. Penalties are something which obviously has haunted England throughout their career. He's done a lot of work with penalties and the mentality around penalties. And we beat Colombia. And that was a big moment, beating them in the last World Cup on penalties. But obviously we lost the Euros. I think he did make mistakes. He brought some of our best penalty takers on that hadn't played in the game. And so at the end of the match, he brought them on. They took the penalties and they missed. They had not been... It sounds weird, doesn't it? Just kicking a ball. But they had not been in the rhythm of the game. They hadn't played the actual match. They got brought on. They were cold. They just came on without running around really. And that's it now. Boom. Right. I need you to take this penalty. And I think he's learned from that, or I hope he's learned from that. You can't do that. You've got it. These players need to play a bit of time. They need to get some game time in their legs. They need to feel a part of the game. They need to feel the rhythm of the game. They need to feel the ball. You can't just take a penalty without kicking the ball. So they've got to be able to get on the ball and feel the weight of the ball and just get that touch and that might be it. That might have been why we lost. If we'd have gone with some other penalty takers, people that had actually played the game, who knows what the result would have been. I think he brought 3 people on and all 3 missed penalties. So that was a big learning curve. That's something, afterwards he said, this is on me. He took all the responsibility. I got massive respect for him for that, considering what he went through in 96. Massive respect for him. So I love Southgate. He's a great guy. Maybe he's too nice and maybe we need someone that's a bit more cutthroat, but I love him and I hope he's learnt from it. And if we go to penalties, I'll be nervous, but I think they can do it. I think lessons have been learnt. Curls Plays. Shout out to you, buds. Curls Plays says, fun fact, Christian Pulisic is from my hometown of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Best wishes to Pele's family. Curls Plays, shout out to you, buds. That's nice. That's really nice. That's really cool as well. he is an important player. He is someone that is your creative force. He is someone that plays for Chelsea. He struggles to get into the Chelsea side, but he's one of those players that when he does get some game time, he can put in some excellent performances. Man United are interested apparently in taking him in January on loan because they are interested in playing him, for the rest of the season and getting some momentum going. He's someone that needs that kind of game time. He needs that momentum. And I would be all right with him coming to Old Trafford on loan. I really would. He's he's definitely Premier League quality. You've got a Premier League quality player there. You got a few, actually. As we said, you've got Tyler Adams, you got Serginho Dest. Tyler Adams plays for Leeds. Serginho Dest is someone that's, I think he's at Milan, and he's looking really good at this World Cup at right back. So you've got a fair few that can do it in Premier League, and that is regarded as the top league in the world. So yeah, this is a young USA team that have got some really strong individuals in it. You seem to have slapped yourselves in the face when you didn't qualify 4 years ago, and you seem to have responded with a very interesting team. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. The man, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Big shout out for everyone that's joining us as we work our way forward towards this game that starts in 12 minutes time. 12 minutes time. We will be up and running. We haven't had... youngest squads. USA are the youngest team to reach the last 16. 25 years and 74 days. England are third youngest, but you are the youngest squad to reach the last 16. As I said, that has got to be very exciting for 4 years' time. That means you can have this exact same squad in 4 years if you want to. I'm sure you will find some other players that come through over the next 4 years. But even if this is just your foundation, you've already got a team that qualified for the last 16 that in 4 years' time is going to be hitting its prime. That's great. That's a great position to be in. Legend Killer, shout out to you. Forever Red said, I've been to Hershey. It's a nice place. Wes said, is Pulisic clear to play today? He is. Yep, he is. I'm still not over my first tournament experience, losing on penalties at Euro 96. Pulisic is playing. He is. Days, I'm not American, but that's okay, says Rotem. Okay. Triple A said, what's your prediction for the round of 16 through the finals? So I've got let's have a little look. I've got the World Cup brackets. Let's go. Did I not download it? Give me one moment. I updated it. I said I would. I am a man of my words. So I updated the round of 16 bracket. I've put all of the teams on so that we can see the whole path and the way that it can play out. Let's go down here. Bang, bang, bang. Bang. Yes. So this is how the World Cup looks. So in the top left, we've got Netherlands and the United States. I'm going to go USA. Then we've got Argentina, Australia. I'm going Argentina. Then we've got Japan against Croatia. Really tough, That's really hard. That's really hard because I think you can make an argument for either there. Japan have been really impressive in this tournament, but Croatia have just got that experience. And they just seem to be able to get results. I think Croatia might use that experience to get through. So I'm going to go Croatia, but that could be Japan. Brazil, South Korea, Brazil. So that means we've got USA, Argentina. We've got Croatia, Brazil. So I think we get Argentina and, Brazil. Yeah, Brazil are going to get past Croatia. So sadly, I wish I could disagree with what most people were saying before this tournament. But before the tournament even began, people were working out what they thought was going to happen. And I think pretty much everyone had Brazil, Argentina on that side of the draw. I think pretty much everyone thought that was going to be Brazil, Argentina. So Brazil versus Argentina on the left-hand side. I think Brazil. get to the final. So I think that's how the left-hand side plays out, right? Over on the right-hand side, England-Senegal, I'm going England. France-Poland, of course I'm going France. Morocco-Spain, going to go Spain. Portugal-Switzerland is really interesting. That's really interesting. I'm going to go Switzerland. I think there's going to be an upset in this round. And I think the Swiss might be that upset. They are a team that knocked out France just last year in the Euros. They are a team that I think could keep things tight, frustrate. I think they knock out a team, and I think that team is going to be Portugal. So I'm going to say that the Swiss get through. So England over France. That is absolutely my heart that is talking there over anything else. I genuinely think that's a 50-50 game, by the way. I genuinely think England-France is 50-50. I think that it's going to come down to fine margins. It may even come down to penalties. I'm going to go with England. So I'm going to say England get past France, right? Could be the other way round. I don't care. Spain against Switzerland, Spain. So that means England-Spain semi-final. I think it would be Spain, to be honest. I just get the feeling England are going to fall short and not get to another final again. So I'm going to go with it being Spain. Now, a lot of people will say England will go out to France. That's absolutely fine. I'm not going to argue with anyone that thinks that. I think it's 50-50. I'm going to go with England this time. Then I think they do go out to Spain. So I think we're looking at Brazil-Spain final. That's what I think we're looking at. Brazil-Spain final. Brazil win the World Cup. I think Brazil win. I've thought Brazil are going to win it at the start. I'm sticking with Brazil now. So that's a quick prediction as to how I think the World Cup may go. But of course, you've always going to have a surprise. There will always be a surprise. I'm trying to factor it in with Switzerland getting past Portugal and maybe USA getting past Netherlands. And maybe I'm trying to factor those surprises in there. But by and large, I think that we're going to be seeing one of the favourites winning this. The game should be amazing, said Michael. Brenton, shout out to you. Daniel said, I feel bad for Korea. They're taking on Brazil. It's not much of a prize, is it? But I suppose just getting out of the group. I suppose for some countries, just get into this part of the tournament, get into the second stage of the tournament. That is an achievement in itself. That is like that's what you would like hope to achieve. Get out the group. Now you've done it, anything goes, isn't it? Anything goes. Right, we have got the Dutch. Can you believe it's happening? Can you believe this is happening now? Like, I do feel sorry for my American friends, like, still in the process of waking up. Do you know what I mean? Like, over in East Coast, it's like, what's it going to be, 10 in the morning? Over on West Coast, it's going to be about 7 in the morning. So, people in LA and California opening their eyes, trying to wake up to watch this game. Hopefully people are excited as we get USA versus Netherlands. One team goes through, one team goes home. And don't forget, we're watching the game after as well. And if USA go through, that will decide who they play. So if USA get through, the game after is going to be really important because that's the winner of that is your next opponent. Here's the US national anthem then. US national anthem. So, US national anthem. Da, 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 da. Why feel sorry for them? They wouldn't for us if it's the other way round. Instead of Why at 6, are we getting the Dutch 11? Also, if Dutch is playing, where is Vincent? Very good. Cut his ear off, didn't he? They were trying to call him up, but he didn't hear them. Rob said, it's 10 a.m. here in Florida. Already had a bagel and 2 donuts. Ready to rock, said Robs. Yes. Yes, shout out to Florida. Love that place. Hamid said, did you hear the news that Neymar might not play against South Korea? I didn't. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a problem, to be honest. I feel like they've got enough. I mean, I think if they... honestly, I think they could get through to the Argentina game and be all right without him. So I don't think it's too much of a concern. I suppose the problem is if he comes back, is he going to hit the ground running or not? That might be a concern. Do Brazil possess enough to get past Argentina without Neymar? Oof. I mean, like, I feel they probably could, but it's a much harder task. Right, here we go then. Teams are being shown. The lineups, as we said, wonderful midfield there of the Dutch. And up front, Depay starts. Gakpo starts. Goal achieved for Team USA. Make the round of 16. Help the team prepare for 2026. Yep. You've got to take this. You've got to be happy with this. Okay, so we got the referees. Big Verge. Big Verge has come over, the captain of Netherlands. Virgil van Dijk plays for Liverpool. We're just seeing inside VAR, there's someone from Colombia, someone from Venezuela. VAR sat at the monitors. We are going to be underway with this in 2 minutes' time. 2 minutes' time. How you feeling? How you feeling? It's very real now, isn't it? One team goes through. One team goes home. Can the USA do it? Did you hear about Pele? Did, yeah. Awful. Awful news. 1 Minute Wrestler said it's 9:57 here in Canada. Lee said, I don't get why they're called Dutch, Holland, Netherlands. Can you explain? Well, I know Netherlands is their name. Holland, apparently, is a region of the Netherlands. But I think there was some miscommunication and the world started calling them Holland. But that's not strictly correct. It's a part of the Netherlands. It's not actually the Netherlands. It's part of the Netherlands. But it's not the Netherlands. So Holland is incorrect, I believe. That's why we don't use it anymore. Like, the world made a slight mistake by calling them Holland. Hence why it's all now Netherlands everywhere. So you can forget Holland. I believe it's just a part of the Netherlands. I don't know why they're called the Dutch. I mean, I feel like that must be short or must be connected with, like, maybe, like, in their language or in a different language. Like, it's short for something that's connected with Netherlands. So I'm not sure of that one. They should be called the Nethers. The Nethers. Here we go. The countdown has begun. And it is going to be Netherlands kicking off. They're going from left to right. And USA are going from right to left. And so we are up and running. Where are the stats? Where are the stats? Okay, ball going straight out already. It's going to be a throw-in. There's the stats. Right. I believe United States will win 2-1. I'm leaning 2-1 as well. Yep. I'm leaning 2-1 as well. So we've got the stats on screen. Okay. Ball going back to the halfway line. I believe United States will win 2-1. Specifically, the phrase Dutch referred to people from the mountainous era of what is now southern Germany. Low Dutch referred to people from the flatlands in what is the Netherlands. B10, shout out to you. Ball up in the air. Headed forwards. Lovely little turn there by McKennie, trying to play the ball forward. We're seeing the Dutch back in numbers as USA have got the ball at the moment. It's around midfield. It's being played back to Zimmerman. They are like a back six, Netherlands, when they need to defend. They're going to be hard to score against. Here's Ream playing the ball over to that right-hand side. Goes all the way over to the right. It's all USA at the moment. Down the line. Ooh. Is that Musa? Musa trying to get forward. Knocked into the Dutch player. Yeah, they're saying it's going to be a good battle between Musa and De Jong. Right, here is Dest trying to get the ball in the middle. Up in the air. Edge of the area. USA trying to hook it back in. That looks offside. It looked offside. I don't know that the flag went up, though. That was a shot. That was a shot that was a save by the Dutch keeper. It's a good save. I mean, to me, it looked offside, but maybe not. Dumfries goes down quite hard there. We need to see a replay of that. So, ball is played in. It's headed out. God, he is onside. Oh, my God, he is onside. He's onside. Wow, that's a big opportunity. That's a massive opportunity. I watched that and I was like, I think he's offside. He was so far ahead of the defense. But just at the top of the screen, there's a Dutch player that's being really slow to get back. He's playing him onside. Ball is going to run all the way and it goes out. So the offside rule, when the ball is played to the person that ends up scoring, when that ball is played, there has to be 2 Dutch players in front of him. There has to be 2 Dutch players in front of him. One of them can be the goalkeeper, and then the other has to be a defender. Or it doesn't have to be a defender. It could be anything, but it'll likely be a defender. Pulisic weaving. I tell you what, it's USA at the moment. They're sticking it to the Netherlands. But yeah, he was onside because the keeper and a defender at the top was in front of him. So that meant that if he had scored, that goal would have stood. He took the shot, hit the keeper's legs, and the keeper saved it. So it remains 0-0. But that is a golden opportunity for the USA. I don't know that you're going to get many of those. Days. Oh, yeah, the clock. Good shout. Boom. Where are we? 4 minutes 30. 4:36. Who was that? Danny, shout out to you. Legend Killer says, come on, USA. Ball, USA, edge of the area. Still putting the pressure on. Oh, almost found its way to Dest, but not quite. Almost found its way to Dest. It's a good start by USA. It really is. The last remaining side from CONCACAF. So, yeah, Costa Rica are out. Canada are out. Who else was there? So there's Costa Rica, Canada, Mexico, USA. I think those are the 4. All of them are gone apart from USA. USA are the last team from that area, from that region, to still be in this. Right, the Netherlands have got a throw in on the near side. Just over 5 minutes gone. I think USA have got to be very happy. Ball gets headed all the way back. You can see expected goals. 0.42 for the US. 0 for the Netherlands. US have had one shot on target. One big chance missed. One shot inside the box. 28 passes to 12 at the moment. You can see USA 79% passing accuracy. 50% for the Netherlands so far. Here's USA again, trying to play the through ball. Dumfries able to deal with it, but USA are knocking, you know. All I'll say is you need to get something from this passage of play, because the Dutch are not going to be this bad for 90 minutes. You have got them on the ropes. You've got them rattled. They don't like it. The Dutch don't like it. You've caught them cold. You could do with something in this early phase of play. My American friends, come on. Here we go. Corner. USA. Ball. Whipped in. No. Too much on it. And it just sails over everyone's head. So, little disappointing there. Pulisic, just in these early stages, just not looking totally on it. Oof, look at that. That is a very, very big save. He's angry with himself, grimacing at himself. Ball being played forward then by Noppert, the Dutch keeper. And it's battling around, bouncing around in midfield. As we said, game still hasn't really settled down, to be honest. Lovely long throw. Pulisic is away. Ball in the centre. Headed clear by Ake. Edge of the area. Chased after by Adams. That's what I mean by Adams. Did you see that tackle that he just put in to make sure that ball wasn't lost? That's the kind of work that he does. Excellent work by Adams. Battling, working, helping the USA maintain possession, which is exactly what you've done. Plays the ball over at the back, so that was Zimmerman on the ball right now. Ream to Zimmerman, back to Ream. This, unfortunately, that attack has just momentarily broken down, but oh, bad by Ream. Ream playing the ball forward. It's intercepted by the Dutch. Gakpo in the middle, shot. Tyler Adams was there, heads it clear. Ball up in the air. Here's McKennie. McKennie on the ball, but it's cleared by the Dutch. Little heart in the mouth moment right there. Heart in the mouth moment. The Dutch are very sloppy right now, said Chris. Did you know the Netherlands have been to the World Cup final 3 times and they have never won? I know. I think that they're like a lot of people's sort of neutral team as a result. Like to get to the final 3 times and never win it. And also, they're such a wonderful team as well. Like, I really like the Dutch. I would support the Dutch. I mean, I will be supporting the USA. But if Netherlands go through, then I hope Netherlands knock out Argentina. Because I think it's Argentina going through, to be honest. Ball being passed around by the Dutch, as we said. They're waking up now. They're starting to break forward, but McKennie is on him. Ball coming over to the right-hand side. It's pulled back. Edge of the area. It's in. Oh! Score. Memphis Depay scores. Oh. Well, we said 2-1. If it was going to be 2-1, they're going to have to get one. And they've got one. Memphis Depay slots it home. It's a lovely teamwork. Look at that. Drives forward. Ball goes over to the right-hand side. It's pulled back. There's no marking. That's really poor. That's poor from the USA. They're so good with their pressing and their marking. And player is just completely left on his own. Edge of look at that. There's no one around. No one around. That's sloppy from the US to not have him picked up there. You're better than that. And this is the problem. At this level, you will be punished. And Dumfries gets an assist over on the wing as well. We haven't been seeing him putting those kinds of balls in there. But if you're gonna force him to do that, if you're gonna shut down the middle and you're gonna force it out wide, which I don't have a problem with, better make sure your marking in the middle is bang on. And you've got a completely a Dutch player left completely alone on the edge of the area. Just happens to be one of their best strikers as well. And he slots it home. So frustrating. But this game is far from over. far from over. USA have already had a fantastic opportunity. And I'm sure you will have more, but you've got to take your chances. I mean, that's clinical from the Dutch, isn't it? That is clinical from the Dutch. They've had absolutely nothing. They break down the other end. Boom. Goal. Clinical. Clinical. If Memphis scores against US, isn't it an own goal, says Rotem. Can we still have time? You do still have time. Ryan says, I might be a gutted fan, but hopefully not. Flybirds Fly said, please, US, do not lose this, please. Please. Still loads of time. If you're going to concede, you'd rather do it in the 11th, 10th minute than the 90th minute. You've still got 80-odd minutes to go. Plenty of time. You've still got all your players on the pitch. You've already created a chance. I wouldn't be losing hope. I wouldn't be losing hope. Even if it's 1-0 at half-time, get in at half-time, make a few changes, substitutions. It just shows how clinical they are. You've got to make sure that you don't lose your belief. You've got to make sure your head doesn't drop. Lovely through ball. Lovely. Pulisic. Pulisic in the middle. Just no one in there to get on the end of it. No one in there to get on the end of that opportunity for Pulisic. Now you're seeing the... Oh, they're breaking. They're breaking. The Dutch have got speed as well. USA getting back. Ball, Depay. Playing the ball over to the left-hand sides. The speed of the Dutch when they counter. It's really hurting you. Ball coming over to that right-hand side. They are really open. You do seem open to the counter-attack. Seeing the Dutch run at you and you having to try and deal with that, it seems to be a real problem for you. So, Van Dijk on the ball, playing it over to Dumfries. Dumfries bringing the ball forwards. Trying to find a ball, goes on the inside. Dumfries on the inside, there's nowhere for him to go. He ends up going backwards. You're really good at doing that. You're really good at putting that pressure on. So, can you see what you've just done there? What you've just managed to do, and it's Tyler Adams that's done it. You've just managed to force the Netherlands to go into the centre and then force them to play the ball backwards. There was no way forward for them then. You're very good at that. And Tyler Adams being a part of it. So Adams was down. Van Gaal not happy that a free kick has been given, but the free kick is taken. Adams playing the ball forward. Lovely little touch, but it gets given away. And mopped up by Robinson. Robinson playing it back to Ream in your defence. Here's Ream. Ream bringing the ball forwards. There's a bit of space. It seems like the Dutch are allowing you to have the ball in your own half. Once you get around the halfway line, they're on you, closing you down. And I must admit, you're not responding very well to that same pressure that you applied to England. But the Dutch have got the ball back now. This is a much more open game now. We're seeing the game being played more in the midfield. In the first, I would say, 10 minutes, it was played in the Dutch third. Now it's being played more in the midfield. Ball making its way through, goes all the way back to the keeper. So your keeper's got the ball. He plays it out. And now the USA can look to try and build another attack. Here's Dest. Dest on the ball into the centre. Nice little turn. Having a little look, seeing if there's any options. There's nowhere to go. It ends up going out to Robinson on the left-hand side. Goes back to Ream in the centre. Ream's going to play it back to Robinson, who is in a little bit of space. But he ends up going back to Ream. And England do that. England fall into that pattern of just passing it between the defenders. Sometimes it's really hard to find a forward pass. It's really hard to find a way forward. But you've got... Robinson had a bit of space. Ream still got it. There's nowhere for you to go, but you've got to find some... Lovely, lovely turn. Lovely turn. That was great by Robinson. Edge of the area, and that's the wrong option, and he loses the ball. But that was a lovely little touch by Robinson. Ball into Robinson, beats his man. And again, this is the thing when you're man-to-man marking. If you can beat your man, there is nothing but space then. Nothing but space. So Robinson beat the man that was on him, and boom, he was away. So you will get opportunities like that if you can keep beating the man that is marking you. Gabriel Jesus, Teles are going to miss out on the entire tournament after injury, says Easy99. Wow. Wow, that's going to hurt. I mean, lose it. Like, Jesus is a wonderful option to have off the bench up front. Side-footed, but goes well over there by the Dutch. Yeah, that goes well over. And Daily Blind was coming in. But the best thing that can happen in a knockout game is an early goal, said Tortnight. Rotem said, do you think the French fries guy has moved on to support the Netherlands? I hope that he's still there. I would love to see him involved in some way in the final. Love the French fry guy. Maybe he's switched over to support in France. Who knows? Would make sense. Ball going down the line. Des trying to play the ball in the middle. And Noppert is able to come out and claim that ball. There's a Mexican wave going around the stadium right now. Mexican wave going around the stadium. We haven't seen any chances created by the US in a little while. Netherlands have got the ball. Yeah, they are just passing it around at the back at the moment. The Dutch 52% to 48%. Very close when you look at the numbers. Expected goals still has USA ahead. So expected goals is how many goals would you expect there to be in this game with all of the kind of information, all the stats that are coming through. 0.2 for the Netherlands, 0.4 for the USA. So according to the stats, you should be the ones winning 1-0, not the Dutch. But only by a small margin, not by much. Not by much, but you should be beating the Dutch. 1-2, but that ball, there was too much on that. Goes straight out. That's going to be a goal kick to the Netherlands. The chat flying fast, said Dortnight. It's big, man. It's a big, big game. We're all here right behind USA. Of course, if we do have any Netherlands fans, any Dutch with us, absolutely more than welcome. But, yeah, USA, they've had a good early chance. This game would be 1-1 if Pulisic had been able to put that away. Ball up in the air. You will get more chances. I've got no doubt about that. There will be more chances for the USA. Van Dijk playing the ball back to Noppert, who launches the ball forwards. In the middle of the park, headed forward there by the USA. It's bouncing around, edge of the area. Offside. Offside, unfortunately. Just strayed offside, apparently. So that's going to be a Dutch ball. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes gone so far. Worst Mexican invention, refried beans or the wave. Probably refried beans. I think the people love the wave, don't they? Here, they're in again. Sharp, but it's well wide. He's looking quite lively, you know. Memphis Depay is looking quite lively. There's question marks around his fitness, but he's looking pretty good today. He's looking pretty good. That Dutch fan looked like Woody Harrelson, said Michael. I was supporting Canada, but the Dutch boys have always been one of my favourite teams. I'm going to support them and England, said Spencer. Respect to you, Spencer. Okay, here we go. Ball going out to the left-hand side. Dest. So, we're seeing some good numbers coming through for Memphis Depay. He's looking really switched on in this game. Right, here's Adams, I believe, driving forwards, going over to the left-hand side. Here's Pulisic. Pulisic goes down. Referee doesn't give anything. Yeah. Dumfries. Ooh, okay, that's good. That's good. So Zimmerman kicked the ball against Gakpo. It goes out. That's going to be a goal kick. So that means the USA can build from the back. Here's Dest. Dest playing the ball into the middle, into Tyler Adams. Adams playing it across. Goes all the way to the defense. To Zimmerman. And again, USA have got the ball in their own half, in their defense. Got to find a way forwards. We saw Robinson beat that man last time. Lovely turn. That really unlocked things. Robinson playing a forward ball. Comes back to Robinson. Robinson playing it into Adams. Adams, middle of the park. Goes back to Ream. Ream to Adams. Goes over onto the wing to Robinson. Down the line, being chased after. It's going to be mopped up there by Timber. Timber mopping it up at the back. It was a battle between Timber and Pulisic. Pulisic's going to look to throw it in. He gives it to Robinson. USA just building. They're in the Dutch thirds. No. Got to do better than that, USA. Got to do better than that. So Dutch player goes down. He gets told to get back up. Ball goes back to the USA defense. It's been a little while since the USA created something of note. But they're on the ball. They've got possession. Lovely. Driving forward. Someone has to make something happen. It goes over to the right-hand side. Here's McKennie. Tries to play a forward ball, but it's intercepted. Now the Dutch can look to counter. USA need to try and stop this counter, and they do. They win the ball back. Goes all the way back to the defense. Ball being played into the center. Here's Tyler Adams. Lovely forward ball into Pulisic. Pulisic weaving over to the right-hand side. There's McKennie into Dest. Dest coming forward over to McKennie. McKennie trying to find a way of whipping that ball in. There's a few white shirts in there waiting to get a head on the end of it if a cross comes in, but a cross doesn't come in. Instead, the USA being driven back a little bit. Again, moving forwards. Cut out by the Dutch. Now the Dutch are going to look to counter. Pele has been moved to end of life, says Easy99. I know, awful. WTF was that, says Michael. What channel is it on? It is on BBC One here in the UK. The ball is with, I think that was Timber. Gets played forward into Dumfries, but ends up going straight out. That's going to be a throw-in for the USA. So the USA are going to have a throw. There's your manager. Right, throw-in. I've really liked Robinson. I think Robinson has been a good player for you. I like Robinson. I like Dest. I like Adams. I like your team. Your team's doing all right. Team's doing all right. 1-0, you're losing to the Dutch. It's been about 15 minutes since the goal. You would like to see the USA, though, create a few more chances. We've only seen that one shot, and it was in, the 3rd minute. So you're really struggling to get into that final third at the moment. You're having plenty of the ball in your own half. You go into the Dutch half. They're right on you. They're pressing. They're doing to you what you did to England. They're not giving you any time on the ball. And the ball goes back to that USA defense. You've got to beat the man. So as soon as you have got the ball, there's a Dutch player that comes onto you. You've got to beat that person. Otherwise, the ball's just going to be getting passed around like this. Yep, into the middle, into Adams, over to Robinson. Robinson on the left-hand side. He tries to go into the middle. Again, look at that. Adams on the ball. Klassen right there. Ball going back, and there's someone right there. The pressing of the Dutch is a problem for you. Turner playing the ball forwards. Down the middle. Lovely. Into Robinson. Robinson having to play it back, though. He's got no options. I mean, you've been driven so far back now. Ooh, You've been driven so far back that there was almost a mistake by your keeper that would have allowed the Dutch in. You've just been pushed back, pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. You got to the point where the keeper's now getting involved in the play. And even he's being put under pressure. So it's a real pressure cooker out there for the USA at the moment. But here's Dest trying to dink the ball through. He's got 2 orange shirts on him. There's nothing he can do there. But the ball gets given to Adams. Adams over to the right-hand side. Back to Adams. Going over to Robinson. I really like Robinson. He dinks the ball high. It comes to McKinney. McKinney can't really do much with that. And it's all a little bit sloppy, isn't it? It's all a little bit sloppy. Right, here come the Netherlands. The Netherlands looking to counter. Dumfries. Watch Dumfries. He's unmarked. Dumfries at the back. Dumfries at the back. Oh, God. You could just see Dumfries running. He was coming. He was completely unmarked. If that ball had made it to Dumfries. Some of the marking at the back in these moments from the US is just not good enough. Tense, innit? Tense. Forever, don't count out the USA, says Tommy. Pele was my window into soccer in the early 70s, says Rob's World Cup and the Cosmo and the old Nasi Hey Tampa Bay Rowdies. Yeah, he I think would have been the window into soccer for a lot of people around that time that didn't really watch the game. And as I said, you don't even need to know anything about football to know the name Pele. He transcends the sport. So I think for me, he's the greatest. He's certainly the name that I grew up with as, the greatest, being told is the greatest. Obviously, I never saw his career. But you saw highlights and you saw what he did in World Cups and you heard the experts talking about him, and I've seen documentaries on him and all that. And for me, he's the greatest. Depay didn't pass. He did it by himself and fluffed up, said Bonkers. Well, nothing coming. We're just seeing the shot there by Depay. 84 kilometers an hour. It's a lovely finish. That is a guy that is fresh, to be honest. He's not played at this World Cup. Did wonder if he might just look a little bit off the game. He actually looks fresh and sharp, and he's looked really good, which is not what America wanted. Right, ball in the middle of the park. So that was Klassen. Klassen trying to find a way forwards. USA have got it. But it's, here's Dumfries. Dumfries has been a problem as well. Pulls the ball back, edge of the area. No one there. It's cleared by McKennie. It's not quite totally out, though. Oh, bad header. Klassen, though. But USA get the ball. They're looking to bring it out. Ferreira trying to get it out. I think Ferreira was fouled. Referee thinks he was fouled as well. So, that's going to be a free kick to the USA. Ferreira was looking to counter, but he was stopped. Half an hour gone. A third of the game done already. A third of the game done. Got the stats on screen at the moment. Expected goals still with the US. I mean, the Dutch have had some of the ball, but they still haven't done, loads with it. They've had 4 shots, but only 1 on target, and that was the goal. So it's not like the USA are getting battered here by any means. It's 54% possession to the US. The US are having more of the ball. You're having more of the ball. Both teams have had 1 shot on target. It's just that theirs went in and yours didn't. It's as simple as that. Theirs went in, yours didn't. Seems like US has found some sort of weakness on the Dutch left-hand side. They keep going there. Robinson is using his speed well, says Brenton. Pele is the Muhammad Ali of football, says Forever Red. I completely agree. I think it's a really good comparison. Just as Muhammad Ali transcended boxing, then Pele transcended football. I completely agree. Ball down the line. In my mind, I sort of think that, like, Elvis is like the Pele and Muhammad Ali of music. Like, I wonder if there's a picture of Elvis, Pele, and Muhammad Ali. Imagine, like, those three together. That's like the king of music, the king of soccer, the king of boxing, all together at the same time. Ball going over to the right-hand side. Here's Dest. Dest trying to find a way forwards. Lovely ball. A little bit on it. Has it been kept in? I think it got kept in, Looked like he'd just put a bit too much on that, and it looked like it was just going to go straight out, but it's kept in. USA are looking. They're looking. Can they create at least one more chance before half-time? I really hope so. I really, really hope so. They created that first chance within the first few minutes. We said at the time, USA need to do something with this passage of play, because you see it so many times in football where a team is looking really good for 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, and then the game changes. The other team comes back. We're seeing the USA fans cheering away still, and it is true. You're only 1 goal behind. It's not that much. If this was 3-0, then I could understand the heartache and the heartbreak and the heads dropping. But 1 goal, you can find that in the 97th minute. So we've still got a long way to go with this. But can the USA just create some chances? It feels like they need to do that just to get a bit of confidence. But whilst it's still 1-0, you're still in it. Ball is played back into the USA half. Over on the left-hand side, it's played back to the defence. Coming forward, here is Reem. Reem playing it into the midfield. There's Dest coming over to McKennie. McKennie on that right-hand side, playing it back to the defence again. There is Zimmerman. Zimmerman, who I believe has been twice voted the best defender in the MLS. Here's Tyler Adams quite deep. Robinson's got quite far forward. I don't know if he's being marked, but you've pushed both of your fullbacks up. So Dest is quite far forward. Robinson is quite far forward. That ball coming over to Robinson. Here we go. Robinson in the middle. Like it. Just couldn't get through to a USA player, but that was a lovely forward ball. I love that pass. Went into the centre. It was a real battle to see who was going to get it, and unfortunately it was the Dutch, but that's the right idea. Just try some balls, try some things, find some forward passes. 35 minutes gone. Gage Owens says, I believe that we will win. Tharuka said, USA do have a good chance. They do. They're still in this game. Do not count them out. It's 1-0 at the moment. That's nothing. It's nothing. I remember watching Manchester United, the team I support, in the Champions League final in 1999. We were losing 1-0, and then we scored in the 89th minute, and then we scored in the 92nd minute with pretty much the last kick of the game, and we ended up winning 2-1. So, even once you get into that kind of stage of the game, it's not over. So it's a little bit tricky, this, for the United States, because I reckon you could be committing even more people forwards, but you then do run the risk of leaving yourself open at the back. That is the problem. You're kind of caught in this horrible situation right now where you need a goal, but you can't throw everyone forwards, because if you do, the Dutch will counter you, and what do you do then? So you're kind of in this. Obviously, when we get towards the end of the game, you will just throw everyone forwards. because you've got no other option. But right now, you're kind of trying to score whilst also trying to not concede, and you're in this horrible middle ground. That's the problem with conceding first, is that you end up being in this kind of situation. So you're having to try and create something with only a limited number of players because you don't want to throw everyone forwards. Right, Van Dijk is going to be taking a free kick for the Dutch. We're in the 37th minute. Ball being played forward over on the left-hand side. I mean, a second goal would really hurt. A second goal for the Dutch would really, really hurt. Next goal could be massive. Oh, look at Robinson. Look at Robinson. It does come to Robinson. He plays it in the middle. I feel like some of those decisions were not the best decisions. Robinson was bombing forward. He was unmarked. Needed to play a quicker ball into him. On that left-hand side, USA were breaking forward there. And I think some of the decision-making was not quite right. That's one that I think that you would sit down and review back at the hotel afterwards and like have a look and see if like better decisions could have been made in that moment. Robinson bombing forward. Such a great athlete. I really am impressed with him. Just gets up and down, doesn't he? All the time. All right, here's Musa. Musa, ball bouncing around. Musa trying to win it back, and he does. He does win it back. Here's Robinson. Down the line. Great ball into Pulisic. Pulisic. What can he do? Into the penalty area. Takes a shot. Goes out. Don't know if that's a corner or if it's going to be a throw. Didn't see where it went out. I think it might be a throw. It's going to be a throw. It's going to be Robinson that's going to take it. Robinson looking to chuck this in. Pulisic's up there. You're deep into the Dutch half. Robinson knocking it back. Can you get a ball into that penalty area? Ball goes out. It's going to be another throw-in. Taken by Ream. And you're getting driven back now. You're getting driven back now. So now you're going all the way back to the keeper. Oh. It is true. We are seeing a lot of attacks going down that left-hand side. We are seeing a lot of Robinson. Oof. It's tense, isn't it? It's tense. You're just waiting for the USA to, like, build these attacks. And I think some of the decision-making has been a little bit off at times, but it's only 1-0. You're still absolutely in this game. Don't need any mistakes at the back. Ball being played forwards. Headed into the USA half. That's brought down. Lovely work by Adams. Mopping up. Doing great work. Playing it to Dest. Dest into the middle. Comes back to Dest. Dest trying to find... He's going right into the heart of the Dutch team. But couldn't find a way forward. There was just too many people there. Too many orange shirts. USA, I'd love to have seen a turn there. Ball comes into Musa. I'd love for him to have let the ball go between his legs and to see him turn. I'd love to have seen him try that. Instead, he just played the ball back. It came into him. He knocked it back. But I think he should have let it go between his legs and turned on it. You've got to beat your man. You've got to get past the player that's marking you. 5 minutes. USA have got the ball. It's in their own half, though. Tense, in it. Tense. Still only 2 shots on target. Again, the only difference maker is they scored and you didn't. That's it. That's it. I don't think you can say that the Dutch have been the better sides. I mean, USA have had more of the ball. I think the Dutch have been happy for you to have it, in all fairness. I don't think the Dutch are worried about you having it. I think they're happy for you to have it. They're just not allowing you to get as close as you want to get. But you found, little, occasionally a few little ways in. There's been a few times where you've managed to get in, but ball coming back, played into Tyler Adams. Ball getting knocked back again to Zimmerman. Zimmerman over to that right-hand side. Oh, lovely overlap. Lovely overlap. USA are away. Edge of the area, in the middle. Try and turn. Take a shot. Take a shot. Goes over to Robinson. And it goes into the hands of the keeper. That was lovely. Gotta say, that was quite a thrilling attack there by the USA. Oh, Oh. Ball is played out from the back. That was all right. You needed to, it got into the penalty area. Someone just needed to get onto it and pull the trigger. Someone needed to do that. No one could find a way onto it, but you're getting closer. You're getting closer. Timothy Weah on the ball right now. He's trying to whip a ball in, but bounces off the Dutch player. Here's Dest. Dest on the ball. Lovely work. Look at that from Dest. Play it. Oh, where's he going? Even he doesn't know. He's got 3 orange shirts around him. Yeah, he's done really well to keep the ball there. He had 3 Dutch players. Ball played in by Dest. Edge of the area. Shot comes in. Big save. Big save. Big save. Oh, finally. In the 43rd minute, the USA pull the trigger. Bang. It's a comfortable save in the end. But it's a lovely shot. You've got to ask the questions. You've got to ask the questions. Even if the keeper's going to stand up to it and save it, at least you've got another shot on target. And you've got something to build on. And you can hear the USA fans making noise. Oof. Let's go, Team USA, says Zycamy. Big save, says Daniel. That was nice. It was on target. The keeper had to get something behind it. Yeah, look, the question's asked. The keeper stands up to it. And it's woken up the crowds. It's woken up the crowds. Ball being played. Oh, ball being played for. I think Timothy Weah could have tried to have run onto that then. But here's Dest. Dest has got the ball. It is wave after wave of US attack. You have had more shots on target than the Dutch. The Dutch have had 1 shot, and it was the goal. Ball gets played back to that defense of Ream and Zimmerman. Found out that the Dutch weakness is on the left. No one on that side can keep up with Robinson. He's been brilliant. I think Robinson has played really well. At halftime, we'll have a look and see how SofaScore is scoring the players. SofaScore gets all the information on like passes attempted and passes completed. And Dest! Oh! Taking on a couple of Dutch players, running past them, getting onto the edge of the area. If he'd have scored a goal there, that would have been sexy. Tell you what, you've got a bit of a problem down the other end, though. Bit of a problem down the other end, but thankfully you got some white shirts back. I think, was that Gakpo that was causing you issues? It was a one-on-one race there between... This game's woken up, you know. This game's woken up. Don't let that ball go out. He doesn't. Dest keeps it in. Stray pass by the USA. Oh, my days. This game has really come alive as we approach half-time. Yeah, I mean, you're just getting a taste of what the second half's going to be like, to be honest, because I think they've kept things quite tight. You can't keep it tight when you get into the second half. You're going to have to commit. You're going to have to go for it. Right, we're seeing Tyler Adams playing the ball over to Zimmerman. Football is crazy. Football is mad. Cal, shout out to you, buddy. Said, I'm on day 3 of COVID isolation. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Thanks for entertaining me. Finally got me after nearly 3 years. Finally got you. I'm sorry to hear that, Cal. I hope you're making a speedy recovery. I picked it up. I got it as well. I got it, I think it was last year, maybe. Took me out for about... Oh, no. The Dutch have scored. Oh, that's heartbreak, that is. That's heartbreak. The Dutch go down the other end. It feels like it's under control. The ball is played into the centre. It's side-footed home. And that's a second goal for the Dutch. And that hurts. That hurts. It's Daley Blind, of all people, that's put it home. Daley Blind arrives, edge of the area, puts it right into the corner. It's the 46th minute. The only thing, so it's a throw-in. It's a throw-in to the Dutch. Edge of the area, passing it around. Pulled back. Oh. Yeah, it's very similar to the first. He's a little bit more marked this time, but still he gets the ball. And look at that. Your keeper maybe should have done better. Oh, that hurts, man. That hurts. It's Dumfries again. Yeah, so Cal, shout out to you, bud. Shout out to you. I hope you make a speedy recovery. Jilly said, is that the nail in the coffin for the US? I don't think it is the final nail. The reason why I would say that is because I think that... I don't think it's the final nail just because I think that the USA can come out and get an early goal in the second half. And then, you know, we're back to where we were. I think it hurts. I've said before, though, if you're going to concede, doing it just before halftime is not too bad. Like, if you are going to concede, and not that anyone wants to concede, but if you are going to concede, doing it just before halftime is not too bad. Reason why I say that is because it's much worse to concede just after halftime. If you concede just after halftime, then everything that you've just spoken about at halftime, everything you've just spoke about, it's gone out the window. Like, all the plans that you've just gone through in the dressing room go out the window, because if you concede just after halftime, that is the worst, right? Because all of a sudden, then, like, you're in uncharted waters. You're doing stuff, and the game is going in a direction you weren't quite prepared for. So I think that's worse. It's still not ideal, of course, that you conceded a second. We said the second was going to be important. We said the next goal would be important. I think that goal is going to be important. I thought USA 2-1. So this is already going away from what I was thinking. This is going to be a difficult second half. The only thing I would say is that you go in at halftime. I think you've been the better side. I think you've had more of the ball. You're the team that have been asking questions and looking to try and find a way of scoring. The Dutch have done a very good job of ensuring that you can't score and that you don't score. And then, you know, you've just been frustrated, basically. They've frustrated you, and then your defense has just crumbled. I mean, they've had 2 shots on target. They've scored with both. 2 shots on target, and they've scored with both. Eric said, I have been a Days-O-Matic for 4 years in March. Shout out to you, Eric. Really appreciate the support. I hope you are enjoying the game, or trying to enjoy the game. It's a little bit heartbreaking at the moment, but as we said, that is football, and we have seen this happen many, many times before. I think there's a great chance that we are going to be seeing a comeback in the second half. I could see the US getting a goal, and then obviously where we go from there, I don't know. But I think the US deserve a goal. You've had 2 shots on target, exactly the same as the Dutch. If you look at expected goals in that first half, you are exactly the same as the Netherlands. In that first half, if you look at all of the statistics, the Dutch were expected to get 0.4 goals. So that means that probably the fair score right now should be 0-0. But maybe the Dutch get a goal, yeah? But you're exactly the same. You're 0.48 as well. They're 0.48. You're 0.48. This should either be 1-1 or 0-0. That's what a fair scoreline for this game should be. 0-0 or 1-1. That's the fair scoreline. Not 2-0 to the Netherlands. Like, the first goal, you didn't mark the player on the edge of the box. Like, you can't do that. Second goal, you just switch off. I mean, you just switch off. You've got players around. They just don't seem to do anything. They're just not, like, there's about 2 players that let that ball get into the box. And then there's a player that's marking Daley Blind that should do a much better job of getting to the ball first. Like, why does that ball get to Daley Blind? Why is there not a white shirt in there that gets to that ball first? I don't know what it is, but you just seem to switch off. Defensively, you just seem to switch off. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Can't do that at this level. So the hope is that right now, Bearholt's having a right go at your team. Certainly the defense. Trying to get them to flip him, wake up. And going forward, you've been all right. I can't say that the Dutch have been any better. I can't say the Dutch have been much better. So let's see. Let's see what the second half brings. Let's see if you can get a goal and get yourselves back into this. Right, USA is toast, said Carlos. Cal said, what is your England prediction? My England prediction is 3-1 England. I'm feeling optimistic for England. I'm feeling optimistic. I think that they've got some wonderful players. I think it's going to be hard work. I don't think you tend to get easy games at this level. Senegal are African champions. Even though they don't have Mane, it's still going to be a challenge, but England should get past Senegal. So I'm leaning 3-1. USA is toast, said Carlos. BTS Army said it's a corrupt sport. 3 Pump said USA, get on the plane, it's over. Forever Red says bye-bye, USA. James said Days is being a yank because people are American that watch him. It's not true. It's not true. I feel a connection with the USA because of the fact that we watch WWE, and obviously that's American-based. Also, I've been to Florida loads of times. I love going to Florida. Been to Florida about 5 times or so. So, I don't know. I just feel this connection with USA. It is true that a lot of people join us from the USA, and I know there's a lot of people in the community that join us, but I promise you that even if I was not streaming right now, I would be supporting the USA. I think that they're a team that are really interesting because their women do a great job, but the men have never really got going. And I must admit, I am a little bit concerned about the men getting going because I think once you get to that level, once you get a team that starts to compete for the World Cup, I don't know that you'll ever take a step backwards then. I don't know that you'll ever take that step backwards. I think you will get a team that is going to compete for the World Cup. You will then have the infrastructure in place. The money will come. The investment will come. The country will get behind them. And then I don't know that you ever let that standard slip. And so I suppose I do have a concern. Like, I'm rooting for you here, but my concern is if you get to a World Cup final, if you start getting a team that's capable of that, like, I think then you are a permanent problem. I saw some interesting videos, actually, where people are predicting the next people to win the World Cup that have never won it. And pretty much everyone's saying that the USA are going to be... I don't know if it'll be the next team, but it'll certainly be one of the next teams to win the World Cup that has never won it before. Netherlands always get mentioned as well because they managed to get to 3 finals and they've never won it either. So I think that there's a few sides that are in that conversation, but I think a lot of people are looking at the USA as, dare I say, at some point, waking up. Like you're a sleeping giant at the moment. So, yeah, if it doesn't work out for you this time, in 4 years, the World Cup comes to you. And so maybe then, you might see, you might start and you might see some improvement and see your team get into those later stages. Right, let's have a look, shall we, at the scores and see how the players are scoring. So here you can see the scores for Netherlands. So we've got Dumfries doing really well on the wing. He's actually come through with 2 assists. So Dumfries is doing well. Daley Blind scoring 7.7 at the moment. Obviously helped by the fact he scored the goal. But yeah, he's been doing well. The USA have actually done a really good job of shutting down the middle. We were talking beforehand about the supply lines that are Klaassen and De Jong forcing the ball out wide. You've done a really good job of that. The only problem is those wide players have delivered. Those wide players have come through and they've put balls into dangerous areas. the pressure then is on ensuring that your marking in the middle is going to be good enough. Like when that ball comes in, it should be a white shirt that's there to get rid of it. And twice now it's been an orange shirt that's put it in the net. So that's been your problem. I would say your only issue has been marking from those crosses. I mean, yeah, of course you'd love to have scored a goal, and Pulisic should have scored in the like third or fourth minute. Should have scored at that point. But other than that, like, you know, you've had 2 shots, they've had 2 shots. We were saying this before, they've only had 1 shot on target and they scored from it. And then they went and had a second shot on target and they scored from that as well. So you can see if you look at their team, the numbers there are not amazing. You know, the 2 wide players scoring very well. Van Dijk doing decent at the back. Depay up front, getting the goal. He's looked really sharp, actually. I think Depay's looked really good. Tyler Adams doing well in midfield. As we said, everything seems to come through him. You can see he's doing well. You can see I've really liked Robinson. He's scored 6.4, which I am quite surprised that that's as low as that. Just having a look at why. He's won 1 of his 2 ground duels. He's got an 81% pass accuracy. He has won 1 of his 2 dribbling attempts. It says here that he has lost possession 10 times, and that's probably what's dragging his score down. If he hadn't have lost possession so many times, his score should be a lot higher, because some of the stuff he's been doing, I think, has been very, very good. Pulisic, only 6.2 for Pulisic. I don't know if he's 100%. I said that you were going to need everyone to be 100%, and I don't know that he's 100%. So I'm a little worried about Pulisic, to be honest. I've got a feeling that he might just be a passenger in this game. Obviously, if you can get the ball to him, he's got the ability to create magic moments. But he had that chance in the 3rd minute, and he wasn't able to take it. So I like what I'm seeing from Robinson. Your midfield is seemingly doing quite well. You're pushing them back. You're the team that's having more possession than what they are. But, you find yourself 2-0 down. This is obviously not where you want to be. It's obviously not what you was hoping for. But let's see what the second half is going to bring. I think it will bring more opportunity for you. I think it will bring more opportunity. Let's move this down. Ball possession, 63% possession for you. 63% possession. 37% for the Dutch. Boom. Lee said, I'm from the UK. I want USA to win. USA friends, don't worry about haters. Captain America says, Brandon. Captain America. Efficiency days, that is what matters. Dort Knight said, if you want me to mod, I'm happy to do it. There is some shocking stuff being said in the chat. Oh, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. I think that you have to expect it, don't you, really? Like, it's going to happen. Things are going to be said. I would imagine things are probably being said on Twitter and all of this as well. So, you know, it's a dark side of football, unfortunately. I can give you that though, Dort Knight, for this stream. Having banter and a joke is one thing, but talking stuff about bombs is too far. Yeah, that's definitely too far. I agree with James on that. Let's try and dial it down, shall we, a little bit here. It's a football game, guys. It's a football game. It's nothing more than that. Right, let's go and bring up there's the stats, total shots, and possession and everything. Just want to make sure we're ready for the second half. That should be starting soon. Robs, shout out to you, bud. He says, next time you are in Florida, state place on me with all the trimmings. There's a place in Florida called, I've spoke about it before, Manny's. Love that place. It's a place called Manny's that we found when we went there, I want to say 07, about 07. And we were so hungry, and we found this place, and it was just amazing. The food was just to die for. And it always tastes better when you're hungry, of course. So, yeah, loved it. And then we went in 2018, and we found it again. It was a little chain, and we found a different one. But it's amazing. I love Florida. Like, the places to eat there are fantastic. Obviously, you've got all the theme parks, and there's loads to do. I was thinking, like, maybe I should go back next year and, like, maybe go to a Comic-Con or something there. I would imagine going to a comic convention where they do, like, loads of just, like, film memorabilia and film stuff, collectibles and, like, TV collectibles, and, of course, like, some wrestling bits as well. I bet that'd be amazing. So I was sort of tempted by that. So, but anyway, let's see how this second half goes. I certainly don't think 2-0 is a fair reflection of the game that I've been watching. Okay, I can tell you that Klaassen has gone off for Coop Miners, and Darun has gone off for Bergwijn. I can tell you that Ferreira has gone off for Reina. That will make people in the US happy. People really wanted Reina to play, and he is on the pitch. So now we've got the US going from left to right. We've got the Netherlands going from right to left. We've got potentially 45 minutes to go. 45 minutes for the United States to find a way back into this game. I can tell you that Giovanni Reina, he is a highly rated young player, and he plays in the Bundesliga for Borussia Dortmund. He is, at the moment, recovering from injury. He was born in England, and he is the son of the men's national team, Claudio Reina. So he is someone that plays in the forward line, and he plays for Borussia Dortmund. Great team, great squad over in Germany. So we've got Reina up front, obviously Pulisic as well. So your front row now is Pulisic, Reina, and Timothy Weah. That's your forward line now. Ferreira going off. Right, okay, the Dutch have got the ball at the moment. Ball being played across to the right-hand side. Goes down the line. Knocked forwards. Dinked into the middle. Lovely work here by the Dutch, but nicely intercepted by the USA. USA looking to bring the ball out. There is Robinson. Robinson on the ball. Goes down the line. USA trying to clear it. Lovely work. Up in the air. Comes back down. Knocked forwards. And is headed out. That was loose. That was loose by Netherlands. Don't know quite what he was trying to do there, but he knocked it out of play. So I think that was Gakpo that headed it out by mistake. But here come... is that Depay? Edge knocking it over. Yeah, that looked like Depay was bursting forward. Little dink in the penalty area, but the USA get it away. McKennie trying to find a way forwards, but being put under a little bit of pressure. USA getting over the halfway line. Lovely forward ball. That's really nice. Goes out. That's going to be a corner. But that was all right. Ball coming into Timothy Weah. He was trying to get that ball across, but ended up bouncing off Nathan Ake. Oof. Tell you what, I think he got a bit of studs there. USA, you have got a corner. If you're going to score, now would be a nice time, in all fairness. If you want to start the comeback, now would be a pretty decent time. Pulisic is going to look to take this. It's a decent corner, you know. It's a decent corner! Oh! Off the line by... Off the line. Ball is played in again. Up in the air, straight to the hands of the keeper. Oh, my God, that was close. You could tell that was a nice corner. Had a lovely height to it. You could see that it was going away from the keeper, but you could tell it was going to drop into a problem area where there was plenty of white shirts. And then it finds its way heading towards the goal. and needed a player on the line to get rid of it. So USA getting another little glimpse at goal. And these sort of half chances are the half chances that you do need to try and convert. But right now, you have both had 5 attempts at goal, 3 for the USA, 2 for the Netherlands. Ball being played over on the right-hand side in the middle. Good save! Oh my God, USA! From point blank range. Point blank range. Jeez Louise. So we're seeing Dumfries. Dumfries causing all kind of problems. Oof. Would have been an own goal, that would have. Would have been an own goal. It was your defender that just got a foot on it. Knocked it towards the keeper. The keeper had to stand up tall. Get a big arm behind it. And it remains 2-0. So 5 minutes into this second half. 5 very exciting minutes as the ball goes over to the left-hand side. Ivan said, New York Bulls. My dude, sarcasm. I'm seeing... European Brits are obsessed with Americans, says Jedi. I don't know that that's true, to be honest. I don't know that we're obsessed. I think there is a respect. Here's Dest. And the ball is going out for a throw. Carlin, 1985, Gareth says, I'm in a pub watching this game. That's cool. That's cool. And perfectly acceptable at this time. 4 o'clock, lovely. If it was 10 in the morning, I'd have a few questions. But 4 o'clock, lovely. Lunchtime drink going into the afternoon, lovely. They need a halftime team talk from Ricochet, says Steve. Days, this might be my final YouTube message. I hope that England win the World Cup. Alessandro, appreciate the kind words, my friends. Appreciate the kind words. Right, we're going to see a throw in here for the US. Throw in for the US. I feel like we could probably get rid of this poll now. I think people have probably made their minds up if the US are going to get through or not by this stage. Are the US getting through? 56% think yes. 43% think no. Pulisic, shot. So outside of the area there, straight to the hands of the keeper. So outside the area, Pulisic takes the shot. It goes round and goes straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Let's see... I'd love it if the US could find a goal here. You don't really want this to be like the 80-something minute and still be 2-0 to the Netherlands. Like, you really do want to try and find something within the next 20, 25 minutes. Ball up in the air. Comes down, Tyler Adams, knocking it on. That's a really good ball, you know. Down that left-hand side. And it goes... kept in. Nice, in the middle. Finding a way, knocking it into McKinney. McKinney, forward ball. Over on that left-hand side. On that left-hand side. Let's see, you got plenty of white shirts. Edge of the area, McKinney! Oh. Over. Over. Oh, McKinney. He's not, I tell you what, McKinney has not had his shooting boots in this World Cup. There's been a few moments where McKinney has been in a nice position. Look, exactly like that Dutch goal. Edge of the area, unmarked. Just over. Ugh. Pedri and Gavi are amazing, says Tortnight. Italy couldn't even qualify, says Lights. That's true. Easy said, if you take a chance of creating a counter-attack, you will get a goal. I feel like there's a goal in this for the US, definite. I feel like there's a goal in this. Look at the expected goals right now, the number right at the very top of the screen. You can see that the US are expected to get 0.84, and the Netherlands are only expected to be 0.37. Like, the score is not reflecting the stats. Dink that down. There we go. So it can be seen a bit clearer. Okay, throw in for the Dutch. Netherlands on the ball. Weave in there, trying to find a way forwards. I think Dumfries has probably been man of the match so far for the Dutch. Here we're seeing Robinson. Lovely ball going over to that left-hand side. Pressure as there's a couple of orange shirts on. It's been picked up by McKinney, though. He's got 3 orange shirts around him. There's plenty of overloads by the Dutch where they're getting like 2, 3 players on just one American. And we're seeing the Netherlands trying to break forward, but the referee, I think, saying that's offside, or maybe there's a little foul there. So that was Timber that I think was trying to break away. Now we've got USA on the ball. They're in the Dutch half. Believe it or not, we've had 10 minutes in this second half. Oh, if that had just found its way to Timothy Weah. There was a lovely long ball that just got headed out of that Dutch defence, and it was trying to come through to Timothy Weah. Ball coming into Tyler Adams. Adams, lovely little turn, plays it over to the left-hand side. McKinney down the line. He's going to get there. He's working, but that's going to be a goal kick. Only player I like is McKinney, said Ivan. Redemption said, do you think we get any shocks in the last 16 games? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Switzerland over Portugal. I think that's a potential there. There's always potential for Senegal over England, of course, and really hope not. I've got the bracket. Let's just have a look, see where the potential are. I think Brazil is comfortable against Korea. Japan, Croatia, I think is really close. I don't think there's an upset if either go through. I think Argentina get past Australia. I don't see that. I thought USA over Netherlands. Obviously not looking good at the moment, but a goal for the USA would, massively get them back into this. England, Senegal, that's going to be tricky. Senegal could do it. I think France get past Poland. I don't think Poland will be an issue. Morocco, Spain is really interesting, you know. Morocco, Spain is really interesting. I think Spain should have too much, but Morocco have got some great players. They've got through and they've deserved to get through as well. So that's going to be one worth watching. And then Portugal, Switzerland. That is going to be potential for an upset. The Swiss knocked out France at the Euros. So that's kind of how the bracket looks at the moment. At the moment, it'll be Netherlands going through to face either Argentina or Australia. That game coming up straight after this one. And then tomorrow, of course, we've got England in action. They're taking on Senegal, and we've also got France versus Poland. Right now, in this game, the Dutch have got the ball, and they're just passing it around. Goes down the line, and it's intercepted by the USA, and they play it back to their keeper. The tempo of this game has just settled down momentarily. I can tell you, though, that the stats show that USA have had 5 shots on target now. 5 shots on target. 9 shots in total. 8% of the ball more. And your XG is 0.97. Like, you should have a goal. 0.97. Pulisic trying to make something happen, and USA win a free kick. We are approaching the final half an hour. We are approaching the final half an hour. So Pulisic trying to find a way forward. Can the USA get back into this game? A goal would be massive. A goal would be monstrous. What can the USA do? What can the USA do? 9 shots, 5 on target. 2 big chances. 2 big chances missed. But a free kick right now. It's not the kind of free kick you're going to score directly from. It's a little bit far out. It's a little bit far out. But this is one that you could definitely cause some trouble with. See what Pulisic's got planned. Floats it in. Back post. Too many orange shirts. Edge of the area. Here is Dest. Dest on the ball. On the right-hand side. Knocks it back to Timothy Weah. Comes back to Adams. Adams is going to play it in. Headed clear by the Dutch. Didn't get enough height on that. Knocked forward down the line. Here is McKennie. McKennie into the centre. Oh, he gets wiped out. That's going to be a yellow. That's a yellow. So Netherlands picking up a yellow. That was Cope Miners picks up a yellow there. So the American player, I think it was Pulisic, knocked the ball away. Coop Miners comes in and wipes him out after the ball had gone. Can't go doing that. Can't go doing that. It's going to be another free kick to the USA now. Another free kick to the USA. I wasn't massively impressed with that last one. Let's have a look and see what he can do with this one, Pulisic. Hour gone. Half an hour to go. There's plenty of orange shirts back. Like the whole Netherlands team is back. Here we go. Ball in. Again, didn't seem to have the height. Didn't seem to have the height. And again, it's not a very impressive free kick, to be honest. And now the Dutch are breaking. The Dutch are breaking. You need to get some white shirts back. Yeah, okay, good tackle. You get the ball off him. Here's Adams trying to mop it up, but the Dutch have got it again. Gakpo, shot, bounces off the defender. Shot comes in. Oh, good save. Good save. It was dipping. Memphis Depay takes a shot. And I tell you what, was that going in? Ooh, this is a better angle, maybe. Ooh, I think that might have been hitting the crossbar. Either way, though, Turner had to deal with it, and he puts it over the crossbar. It's going to be a corner. Days, how to guarantee to be in the next World Cup? Host it. Yeah. We can learn from that, James. Oh, Turner spills it, but grabs it again. Yeah, we can learn from that. I think we are bidding, aren't we, for the World Cup, along with like Ireland and Wales and Scotland and all of those. So I think we've took a leaf out of that book. What a save, said Legend Killer. Brian said, I love McKinney, but his legs are gone. Charlie, shout out to you. He said, what are your predictions for Fury Chisora? It's going to be Fury. I can't see Chisora doing it. They've faced twice before, and Fury has won twice before. I really can't see what's different now. So, I mean, the only thing I would say is that it's heavyweight boxing and anything can happen. We are going to be watching that fight tonight. We are doing Fury Chisora. So the plan is that we do the second game, of course, after this. And then immediately we go over to Fury Chisora. Here is the Dutch. Oh, he goes down. He goes down. He might be looking for a penalty there. He's still down, you know. VAR will check that to see if it needs to be a penalty. But right now we've got the USA. Edge of the Dutch area. Shot comes in, but it's poor. We haven't heard if VAR are checking. I don't know if he's still up or if he's still down. He's back on his feet now. Oh, I'll tell you what, USA have got the ball. This game is getting a bit scrappy. It's end-to-end stuff, though. It's end-to-end stuff. Pulisic on the ball. There's a tackle. Ball going all the way back to Robinson. Robinson playing it down that left-hand side. Any sign of Reina yet? He's on the pitch, but you just can't get the ball up to him, to be honest. Here we go. Ball in the Dutch half. Ball is going all the way back to the US defense. You can hear chants of USA. Not a football fan, just came to show some love. LL, shout out to you. James said, we're bidding for the 2030 or 2034. Yeah, I remember looking at it the other day, and it's, I think, between us and, like, Turkey. The only problem is Turkey had a bid that was rejected. So maybe now, like, they've fixed the few problems that got it rejected. So, I don't know, that might be a little tricky. But we definitely deserve the World Cup. We haven't had the World Cup since '66. I know that we have had Euro 96 and the final of the Euro 2020 was played at Wembley, but I mean, like, We deserve the World Cup. Right, we've got Robinson. Robinson down. This could be a real problem. He's been really good for you. So Robinson is down. Musa has come over. Dumfries has been excellent for the Dutch. It's been excellent. Heather, hello, Heather. If USA lose to Netherlands, what happens then? You're out. That's it. End of the World Cup. We are at the point now where we're done with the group stages. This is the first of the knockout games, and it's all knockout games from here. So one team goes through and one team goes home. So if USA lose, then USA are done and the World Cup for you is over. So you've got 25 minutes to save your World Cup. You've got 25 minutes to save your World Cup. James said if we host it, then we will finally win it if we don't win this one. Hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, if we do host it, you'd have to hope that the investment in the England team would be increased even more. I think St. George's has been fantastic. I don't really know what more they need to do. I mean, we're already producing some great players. But hopefully we just find a way of ramping that up a little bit. Because it feels like we're there or thereabouts at the moment. It just feels like we're, dare I say, a couple of pieces missing. Like a world-class centre-back. That would be nice. Maybe another world-class striker to go alongside Harry Kane. That would be nice. After listening to you talk about the World Cup, I'm watching this game. It's enjoyable, says John. John, shout out to you, buds. Yeah, World Cup is so much drama. It's been very dramatic over the past few days. This is obviously a dramatic game as well because one team goes through, one team goes home, and the whole World Cup is that way now. Any game that you watch from now, that team goes through that wins and the other team goes home. If after 90 minutes it's a draw, you get 30 minutes of extra time. If that's a draw, that's when you get penalties, and people love penalties. Not if your team is actually playing it, but Aronson's come on. Aronson's a good player. So McKinney has gone off. I think Weir has gone off as well. Aronson has come on. It's been a little break in play there. So all of this time will be added on at the end. So you've not lost this time. But Wright has come on for McKinney. Aronson has come on for Weir. Rayner came on just at half-time. What can the USA do? What can the USA do? There's a ball being played forward. That's being dealt with. Looks like Robinson is staying on the pitch, which is good news. That was Zimmerman that got over and dealt with that. Bergwijn came on at halftime for the Dutch. He's a decent player as well for the Dutch. Throw in for Netherlands. 23 minutes to go. 23 minutes. USA could really do with a goal. Well, they need two, but they could really do with one some point soon. You can see that USA expected goals is 1, and it's 0.44 for the Netherlands. Football is such a cruel game. Such a cruel game. You look at those stats, and USA should be winning this game. You have been the better team. It's just that the Dutch have been clinical. You give the Dutch a chance, they'll take it. Everyone likes penalties, says Charlie, except when England partake because we're not great at penalties. That's true. RM said Australia or Argentina. Got to go with Argentina. I would like Australia to get through. I'll be rooting for Australia, which as an Englishman might seem strange, but I do look at things from an England perspective all the time. And it's in England's interest to have Australia get through rather than Argentina. Ball is up in the air. And just imagine the scenes if Argentina go out. Imagine the... I mean, did you see the scenes in Brisbane when they got through the group? It was 3 a.m. and they were letting off flares and all this kind of stuff. You couldn't see anything for the smoke. It was amazing. Amazing scenes in Australia. And it's not even their, number one sport. not even close. I think it's like their 5th sport or something. A bit like USA. It's not USA's number 1 sport. But still, you see the scenes and what it means to people. Ball going down that right-hand side. Tackle. Back up on his feet there, Dumfries, as the ball trickles out. 20 minutes to go for USA. It's just been a real frustrating period of play where you've not been able to really build much momentum. Argentina, Australia coming up. Days, Netherlands deserve to be winning. What are you on about, as I have them on my parlay? I like women football, but it is a bit boring, says Ivan. Around the outside said, the weird question last night, me and my friend had a few drinks whilst watching Cameroon and Brazil. Around the outside, no worries, dude. It's just great having people join us. Aubrey Edwards, dancing on wrestling's grave, said, come on, USA, I haven't given up hope. James said, not only do we need a class centre-back and another striker, but we could do with another left-back. That is also very true. Right, here we go then. We are underway with the USA trying to build from the back. Dest in the centre. That was bad by Dest. That was really bad, giving the ball away in a very dangerous area. And the Dutch have got the ball. Shot coming from range. Save. Followed up. Great save. Great save. Oh my God, that's amazing by Turner. That is a great save. Oh, that third goal kills you. That third goal kills you. And Turner has just stopped it from happening. And that is all because of Dest giving the ball away in a really stupid position. It is amazing goalkeeping. Bang! Come on. Your keeper is keeping you in this now. Offsides. AEW fan said, pack it up, it's over. Look at this. It looks to be onside. I mean, it's a lovely shot. Save, spilled, headed, bang. Wow. Amazing reflexes. Amazing. The player is right there. Heads it. Wow. Excellent work. You're still in this. 2-0. Thank God, says Hayden. How long do you think MJF's title reign will be? Depends on the ratings, doesn't it? First ratings have come in and not been brilliant. They'll obviously stick with him for a little while. I can't see him dropping it before Christmas. But, yeah, if these ratings are going to be flat and stay flat, like, it's going to be a bit of a problem. You know, he's someone that brags about being the guy. Well, the world can see the ratings that you're bringing in. But I said last night, like, this is not a great time to try and improve ratings. Like, this is a horrible time of the year where ratings are flat. Like, unless you've got some momentum like WWE do at the moment, unless you've got, like, that momentum to get people to, like, tune in, like, oh, I can't afford to miss the show. Unless you've got that, like, it's not a great time to try and turn fortunes around. Rayner trying to take a shot. Don't know if he was pushed. He certainly went down. So Rayner down. We're into the final 17. I feel like if USA are going to get back into this, I feel like you need a goal in the next 10 minutes. Next 10 minutes, and then that will give you about 10. You've got about 20 minutes left in the game. You've got about the next 10 minutes to try and get a goal. And then you've got maybe another 10 minutes to try and find that second. What can you do? What can you do? You've had 5 chances so far on target. Here's USA again. You've got to... You might just get even a half chance, but you're at the point where you've got to find a way of taking those half chances. Ball is with the Dutch. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that was it. That was the half chance. That was the half chance. Oh, USA. Oh, God. Oh, God. The Dutch just gave you the ball in a really, really dangerous position. It was you and the keeper. He takes a touch. It's too heavy. It gets too far away from him. Oh, God. That should have been a goal. That should have been a goal. That should have been a goal. Here's Pulisic. Pulisic playing it in the middle. Cleared by Netherlands. Come on. Ball coming over. Here's Pulisic. Pulisic. Come on. In the middle. Up in the air. It's in. It's in. It's in. It's in. Back in it. Back in it. Back in it. Miley Cyrus be singing her heart out right now. There's a party in the USA. We can change this over. There it is. Just moments after one opportunity was squandered. Look at that. It's played into the middle. It's such a weird goal. It is such a weird goal. It flicks off a player's foot. It goes up in the air and just balloons into the corner. It is such a weird goal. That's so strange. I don't know that you'll see a stranger goal at this World Cup, to be honest. But it's 2-1 right now. It's 2-1 right now. You have got 13 minutes and maybe some added on time. Definitely some added on time to find that second goal. You're back in it. You're back in it. And you will get an opportunity as well. There will be an opportunity for the US. There will be an opportunity. You've been the better team. Look, you've had 13 shots. Oh my God, here they come. Oh, keeper came out. You've got the bit between your teeth right now. We're into the 78th minute. Proper drama. Proper drama. If you don't watch soccer, if you don't watch football, you're just getting that glimpse. You're just getting that taste. Oh, through ball. Oh, and it's wide. Oh, my God. Bergwijn was in. Bergwijn was in. He could have put that right in the corner there. That was an opportunity for the Dutch. That was an opportunity. Ball, edge of the area. Lovely through ball. Puts it wide. If he'd have got his foot around that then, if he'd have got his foot around it, steered it a little more towards goal. Ball being played forward from the back by Turner. Forward ball. USA will get another opportunity. I'm certain of that. I'm certain of that. Ball coming over to the left-hand side. Into the centre. Being progressed forward. Here's Pulisic. Pulisic coming forward. Shot from range by Pulisic. Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. It was pretty tame. It was pretty tame, but you're looking, you're working, you're searching. Tell you what, the American fans, they've got their mojo back. They're in fine voice. Drums are being banged. This would be huge if you can get this goal, get it to extra time. That's what would happen. If you get the goal and we're done with 90 minutes, we get an extra half an hour then. Extra half an hour. Can you find it, though? Can you find that second goal? USA haters are sweating now, said Lights. Forever Red said Netherlands need a bit of Dutch courage. We all need a bit of Dutch courage at the moment with USA in the middle of the park. Ball coming over to the right-hand side. Knocked over again to Musa. Reina playing the ball over to the left-hand side. Robinson in the middle, and that's cleared by the Dutch. Imagine being in the Netherlands right now. I bet they've got their hearts in their mouths. They've led this game 2-0 for quite a while. And now in the 76th minute, half an hour after that last goal, it's 2-1. And here come the USA. It's a corner. Corner for the USA. Pulisic standing over the ball. Some of his deliveries haven't been brilliant. That one looks too close to the keeper and he claims it. Ivan said, please, Netherlands, save football. This one is for you, Hacksaw. Ho! Ball being played forwards. Chested down. Depay playing the ball into the middle. That's De Jong. He plays it over to the left-hand side. Netherlands are building. Netherlands are going to create chances themselves. Here's De Jong. This ball coming over to that left-hand side. Into the middle. Back post! Oh! And I tell you what, it's Dumfries who has absolutely terrorised you today. He has absolutely terrorised you. Just so clinical. Look at that dude. Look at that dude. Oh, 3-1. Ball goes to the back post. Unmarked. Just unmarked. He just gets Summer on it. Puts it right in the corner. Dumfries scores for the Netherlands. And the assist is Daley Blind. It's the two wide players that are killing you. The two wide players have absolutely murdered you in this game. But in all fairness, you've murdered yourself by not marking. Too many times, there's no one on these players. We've got a change by the Dutch. Holland deserved to go through, says Dylan. We've come back from worse, says Gage. Pulisic hat-trick incoming. Rent-free said, lights, game over. This will be hard for US now. Yeah. Yeah, this will be hard for US. Not impossible. As I said, I remember Man United in 99 losing 1-0, and then we scored in the 89th minute, and we scored in the 92nd minute, and we won the game 2-1. And that was the Champions League final in 1999. So to be down by 2 goals, like at this stage in the game, obviously is difficult. There was such enthusiasm and optimism and hope for about 5 minutes there. But yeah, listen, this game is not over till it's over. You get another goal now and that belief will be right back again. But right now it's with the Dutch. I hope USA can get one more. Just to give people hope again, said WWE lol. Mustafa said, make it 4-1 now, Netherlands. We need to score one more and then get one more, said Dante. That's exactly what needs to happen, yes. You're very right with your assessment. Reina being pushed off the ball there. That's going to be a free kick, Reina. Oh. Referee just having a little word there because USA want to get underway with this. Of course they do. And the Dutch are doing whatever they can to slow this down. They obviously want it to be at a slower pace. They want to take some of the urgency out of the game. Trying to play a through ball there, Musa, but wasn't quite the right ball. In the middle, nice work there by Tyler Adams. Winning it back, lovely. Here come USA. Ball over onto the right-hand side. In the middle, USA having to take a few chances. Ake standing tall. Ball going down the line. Headed down in the middle of the park. And we have Dutch player go down. Referee giving a free kick to the Dutch. Time just slipping away. We're into the final. dying moments of this one. 6 minutes, unless USA can find 2 goals now. That third goal seems to have killed it, doesn't it? That third goal just seems to have taken like all of the hope out of this one. Soccer is a lady sport. Our women is number 1, said Lights. Just wait 10 years and USA men will win as well. Around the outside, wasn't drunk. Danes must be lying. As a Team USA fan, I'd be upset for an hour or so, and then I'll be thinking about college football, said David. Ball being played forwards. Pulisic trying to find a through ball. Oh, I tell you what. Van Dijk had to do some work there. Had to do some work. Here's Pulisic. Pulisic putting the ball down. Gonna look to whip this in. Pulisic gonna look to get this corner in. He really could do with a good delivery. That's better. That's better. That's much better. Ball up and wide. But at least it resulted in a shot by the US. At least we got some sort of shot there. Zimmerman, I mean, of all the players to have on the ball, it's not Zimmerman that you wanted, to be honest, but cometh the hour. At least it resulted in a shot. When do we pull the goal keep, says AEW fan. Listen, the US goalkeeper's been doing a great job. So, yeah, there's about 5 minutes, and then there will be added on time. It does feel like this is probably got away from the US, though, to be honest. It does feel like that third goal has killed it, but you never give up. Never give up. Right, we're seeing the Netherlands having the ball. They're going to look to just try and run some time out of the game. Passing it around. USA trying to get a hold of the ball. Musa. Here's USA. On the inside. Goes down. Here's a cynical challenge. No one cares about college American football. Stop calling it soccer, but football. 5 decades if you are a Dutch football fan, said Charlie. Right, ball coming over to the left-hand side. What can the US do here? What can they do? Weaving away. Can they find a goal? A goal now would restore that belief. It's just this 2-goal margin. It's a bit wide. Robinson, ball in the middle. Here's Rayner. Rayner surging forwards into the penalty area. Edge of the area. Ball being knocked back. There's just too many orange shirts back there. Trying to find a through ball on the edge of the penalty box. But again, an orange shirt is there. They knock it away. We're seeing the Netherlands trying to break now. They're just running it down the other end. Are you doing boxing, then UFC? It's all day, all night streaming. Yeah. Yeah, it's a... I must admit, this is a day I looked at that was coming and I was like, oh, God, I don't really fancy that. That's going to be like each individual thing looks good, but collectively you go, oh my God, that is quite the day. 2 World Cup games, Tyson Fury versus Chisora, UFC to round it off, and then it's go to bed, get up, and we go straight into 2 more World Cup games. So it's just a manic weekend, to be honest. Ball in the middle of the park, bouncing around. Nice. Being passed around by USA. They're on the edge of the Dutch box. Ball is played in, but it's cleared. Musa needed to get a bit more height on that. Do you find sometimes that the crosses from the US are too low? They don't get enough height on. Here's Musa again. Musa cutting onto the insides. Playing a lovely ball to feet. Here's Rayner. Rayner trying to find a way forward, but there's literally about 6 orange shirts in there. Just an absolute orange wall, which the USA just cannot break down. And I think Hope is drifting. Pulisic and Netherlands pick up the ball. BTS said a Fury fight. I didn't even hear about it. Yeah, he's taken on Chisora. He's faced him twice before and beaten him. So, but I mean, like, people just love to watch Fury fight, to be honest. Back heel, Bergwijn trying to create some magic. Simons. And the ball comes through to Matt Turner. Days will do Argentina game, then boxing, then UFC, says Fortnite. We're on it. Jilly said, why is the word soccer such a negative word for Europeans? I try not to use it when I'm around Europeans, but I do refer to soccer when I'm talking about British football and football for NFL. I mean, it's just because the rest of the world calls it football. So for it to be called something different by another nation, like the world just is kind of just, stop calling it that kind of a thing. It's not called that. It's called football. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Ball up in the air. Into the middle. Ball's being passed around, but there's 6 added minutes. I mean, that is plenty of time to get 2 goals, but I'm going to say you're going to need one now, and it does feel like the air has just been sucked out of this game. That third goal, I think, just really did the damage. Trini, what did you get food-wise? Good game, said Adrian. It was fun, wasn't it? It was fun. It was, for me, USA were always in this until that. Well, I suppose in a way they're still in it, but they were in it until the 81st minute. And I think that third goal is what did it with 9 minutes to go. So Robinson has gone off. I mean, he is shattered. USA look like they're going to finish this with 58% ball possession, 16 shots, 8 on target. All the numbers in their favour. Because the Netherlands have scored 3 goals. Their XG is 1.7 now. It is above the United States. But the United States, I mean, really, Pulisic, it does feel like a draw or a slight advantage maybe for the Netherlands looking at XG. That's what XG would be expecting. So expected goals, what you would expect the game to be. XG is saying that it should be 1-1, maybe 2-1 to the Netherlands. But that is being skewed by the fact that it's already 3-1 to the Netherlands. 4 minutes to go. Netherlands going to lose to Argentina anyway, said Daniel. Light said, imagine getting angry over the word soccer. Musa in the, almost to the edge of the area. And the ball goes out. Charlie said it's been a bit poor from the US all rounds. Ooh. Ake is coming off. Yeah, he's been all right. I feel like this is going to be a result that will obviously be received very well in the Netherlands. Any result that gets you through is going to be seen as a positive. And I think this will be a result that's going to be seen as disappointing in the US. But the only thing I would say is, take the positives. You got out the group. First of all, you qualified. That's massive. You got out the group. That's massive. You've got, the youngest team to get through to the round of 16 is the United States. That's massive. You've got the World Cup in 4 years' time. That's massive. Ball in the middle. Oh, would have been nice if that had gone in. Ball was played into the middle, headed into the edge of the area. Oh, he had to rifle that. He really needed to wrap his foot around that. And instead he just, I don't know if he was trying to tap it forward or what he was trying to do, but Aronson weaving away on the wing. He goes down, the ball goes out. So 94th minute. Ball goes, it's going to be a throw in. So 2 minutes to go. Tackle. Oh, you've got the ball though. Reina in the middle. Oh, no joy. USA are still looking Still looking. They've not given up. It's been a couple of moments here that you could have got. They're just half chances. Maybe not even half chances, but they're the sort of chances at this stage in the game you really need to be putting away. 1.5 minutes. US defense is ancient. How long has Zimmerman been playing, says Jilly. David said disappointed for the Americans today. Well, I mean, look, this is the World Cup, isn't it? You know, one team goes through, one team goes home. There was always going to be 2 teams going out of the World Cup today. USA, sadly, being one of those. Zimmerman plays for Nashville. He is a designated player at Nashville. Seasoned centre-back who was named the league's best defender in 2020 and 2021. So 29, in 4 years' time, he'll be 33. I mean, he could play, but you probably want to get a replacement in there rather than rely on a 33-year-old centre-back. But it's not the oldest. You could absolutely use him in 4 years' time. Matt Turner will be 32, your keeper. Dest will be 26, so amazing. Robinson will be 29, so that's fine. McKinney will be 28. Pulisic will be 28. So Pulisic will be in his prime in 4 years. Aronson will be 26. Rayner will be 24. I mean, Tyler Adams will be 27. I mean, you've got such a great young side. 4 years' time. In 4 years' time, Musa will only be 23 years old. He's only 19. Ball up in the air. Looks like it's going to make its way through to the keeper. And there is the full-time whistle. And heartbreak for the USA. Heartbreak for the USA. They are eliminated from the World Cup. Right, Moldy said, I'm not surprised America don't call it kick to the goal ball. American terms are simple. They call a pavement a sidewalk to specify where you walk, says Moldy. Netherlands win, says Bonkers. Hayden said, I would like to say to the United States FIFA World Cup team, you should be proud of making it to the round of 16. We respect you. Can't wait to see what you guys do in 2026. Well done, Hayden. Nicely said. There's a guy there with a bald eagle mask on. He's got a USA flag, a USA scarf held up proudly. It's going to be interesting to know what happens to the USA manager. It's going to be interesting to know what gets said there. Does he continue? Does he leave? I think there's a real split decision on him back in the United States. And we've been seeing managers walking away. We've seen a few managers leave, the teams that have gone out in the group stages. Says that Berhalter is a well-travelled playing career. Took him from North Carolina to Europe, including stops at the Netherlands, a short spell at Crystal Palace. Saw him represent the South London club at the World Cup when he played in the 2002 US men's team. Once he moved into coaching, he impressed with Columbus Crew after a spell in Sweden, and he brings pressing and possession football. But as I said, I feel like there's a bit of uncertainty around him. We are seeing the Dutch celebrate. If you are just joining us, it has ended 3-1. It has ended 3-1, and it is a victory for the Netherlands. It is a victory for the Netherlands. Just going to have a look, see what they said on here about the coach from the US. I am interested in just hearing what he's got to say. They do tend to go to them quite quickly. After a 14-month search, Greg Berhalter was appointed in December of 2018 after spells in charge of the Swedish club Hammarby and MLS side Columbus Crew. The worried fans who wanted a head coach with a more distinguished pedigree, and many are still to be convinced of his merits, but have seen some good improvement with this side. He has won 36 and lost only 10 of his 56 games in charge. So they're saying that there are people that are still to be convinced that he is the right person for the job. I don't know what this does. I really don't know what this does. I really don't know what this does, because he is someone that took them out the group stages, which is a fantastic achievement. Here we're seeing, a really good performance against the Dutch. The scoreline I don't think is a fair reflection of the game at all. But does he stay and continue his work, or do you get a replacement in? He might just turn around and say now is not the time for that. The US is one player away from being very, very good. They just need someone that can finish, says Aaron. Mosey, the wrestling god, said, great game, Netherlands. Let's go, England. US have a good squad, and they should build on that for the next World Cup, says Hamads. Aaron says the Netherlands made all their goals from the same spot on the fields. Deanna said, instead of it's coming home, now it's we're going home. We're coming home. Yeah, look, we're just seeing the celebrations in the Netherlands. It is always nice seeing the celebration. I'd like to have seen the celebrations in the US when that goal went in, because that really felt like that was their moment. USA just needed to really capitalize on that. But unfortunately, the Dutch found that third goal, didn't they? Aubrey Edwards, dancing on wrestling's grave, said, let's go England, from a broken-hearted American. Dumfries and Van Dijk carried at the back. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dumfries was amazing. That's a goal and 2 assists for him. A goal and 2 assists. So an amazing performance from Dumfries. Memphis Depay just screamed, gets S on into the camera whilst pointing outside the stadium, says Rick. What did he do that for? What did he do that for? Let's go England, says Heather. Come on the Aussies, says Charlie. Terence said, damn USA. Like someone who's been here 3 years, jumping on the USA hype because they qualified. Right, I don't know if we're going to get thrown over to the manager. I'd like to hear from Bearholter just to see what he's got to say. They're just showing some really nice analysis. They've got a really good camera angle here where you can see the whole team and the shape. It's a lovely 4-3-3. So 5-3-2 in defending as well. They're just showing some of the shapes that the Dutch had when the US had the ball. Tactically, Netherlands have done really well here. But I'm a bit gutted, to be fair. I'm debating not whether to put Dumfries in my team. Yeah, I was thinking that as well, AJ. When all these assists were coming in, like, we haven't seen anything of Dumfries. He's been very quiet in the group stages. I must admit, as soon as he was getting those 2 assists and a goal, I was like, God damn. Because I didn't put Dumfries into my team, but I was super tempted. I had him in the group stages, but I didn't put him in at this stage. And sod's law in it. I'm pretty sure I won't have been the only one to have made that decision. Okay, I don't know if we're going to go over to the manager or not on BBC. We may not, to be honest. So I think we might look to wrap things up there. Heartbreak for the US. you came, you saw, you got out the group. You take the positives, and it is what it is. As we said, every nation will go out of this World Cup at some point, apart from the one that wins. So even England will likely have that heartache at some point, and who knows, it could even be tomorrow. So we are at the point where teams are going home, and they're going to start going home quickly. We do have another game in just under an hour. That is going to be Australia taking on Argentina. We now know that the winners, of course, will go on to face the Netherlands. So the end of the journey for the USA, but of course not the end of the World Cup. And hopefully our USA friends will enjoy watching the rest of the tournament, even though they're no longer in it. But just know that in 4 years' time, you will very much be in it because, of course, the World Cup comes to America. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. I will see you in about an hour's time for our next World Cup game. Bye for now.